Well, chat, we're starting off good tonight. Thank you, Mr. Pickman, for the $1.99 director's chair with the words on set. Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all are having a fantastic evening tonight. I was literally like an hour ago, unsure of what I was gonna do. I was in the middle of work. I was helping somebody with something. Maybe that's a story for another day. And I was like, I am so tired. I am not gonna look around for shit because I wanted to come home.
The content gods will provide.
Exactly. I was gonna come home, chat. We were just gonna have a chill Minecraft stream. I already have the game pulled up. I'm gonna be playing Minecraft in the background because we need to zoomer it up. I can't just sit here, and neither can any of you for that matter. And we are going to be listening to the content that has been provided. Can't complain, it's Friday. It is. I've got the day off tomorrow. I'm so excited before I go into 4 more days of work. I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. Tonight is going to be very fun. We have Ava here for as long as she is able. And then we also have Manager Bull, the Lord Bull, the Golden Calf.
Lord Bull, I like that. There we go.
You know, we need, so in tradition for the Bible, where one of the commandments is not to worship graven images, we need an image of you. I need to ask Ari to make that little shit of you just solid gold. It would be absolutely perfect.
Oh, God.
And then we could say that we worship you.
Oh God, no. Okay, that's getting a little too far.
It is, and that's why I think it's hilarious. The assistant, yes, the assistant.
I mean,
Annie,
is that not your average VTuber manager though? Like,
Jesus.
just play into that.
You know,
No, because I don't want God to fucking strike me.
he knows. Oh gosh, thank you, Ted. By the way,
yeah. Okay, never mind. I was again gonna go dark with it.
Eva's reining herself
I'm just
in.
saying, the more I hear Akko talk about it, the more I feel like I see the thunderclouds above rolling in. I
Oh
see
no!
God's finger peeking out there like, I'm gonna shoot this motherfucker.
Are we talking about the God from The Simpsons or the God from Family Guy?
Look, I'm only reined in because it's the beginning of the stream. We wait a good 30 minutes, I'll loosen up a bit.
Oh, fair enough. I'll make sure to give you time to loosen up a bit. Anyway, chat. Tano, thank you for being a member for 16 months. Chat, ain't that crazy? I've been monetized for 16 months. That's really crazy. And Tim, thank you for the resub for 13 months. 23 total. That's awesome.
Resub.
Now, chat, tonight is going to be long. I expect tonight's going to be a long one. And the only reason why I believe it's going to be a long one is because this video is 2 hours and 40 minutes long. I have skipped like the first minute where it's just like the intro where Oompa is saying, by the way, disclaimer, I tried to ask as many questions as I did, yada, 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 you know. So I skipped the first minute here. I also skipped a part where Mr. Beast actively like swore on a Bible that he would tell the truth. And that doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I don't know if it means a whole lot to any of you, but I really don't like when somebody swears on a Bible. It really doesn't mean anything.
Did he actually place a hand on the Bible?
Yes.
And swore
I'll
to
play
tell
it.
the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help him God?
He didn't say that, but like they brought out a Bible here. So I'll tell you what, we'll watch that first, and then it'll like go into the main stuff. Are we proud?
Sorry, that's
What you're telling
adorable.
me
Are
is
you guys proud of Lumi's performance to the normies today? Yes.
That's right. She was on the side scrollers. It's pretty cool. It's a very rare opportunity. I've only ever seen one other VTuber on that podcast, so she is one of the lucky ones.
Yes, I'm very proud of my fish. I am very happy, and I am doing the happy dance.
Indeed.
I would be more excited, but unfortunately, I didn't get my mid-morning nap in.
Your mid-morning nap. Monty Python is goated. Agreed. Agreed.
If anyone doesn't like Monty Python, you're automatically not going to be my friend.
Well, thankfully I do. Just popped in to say hi. Good night. All right, good night.
Good night, person.
Anyway, chat, I don't want to like do this too long. All right, I don't want to like scroll through this too long because this is just like this is 2 hours here, and I know I'm gonna be longer here than 2 hours, so we're just gonna get into this here. I have made it as big as I feel like is
Remember,
good.
we can put it on 1.25 or 1.5
I
because
could,
we're
1.5.
probably talking a little slow.
I could,
Just
I could.
1.5, it trust me.
Let me see if I playback speed. What is it? 1.5?
1.5.
1.5. All right.
So you're saying this was Oompaville who swore in the Bible, or was it Mr. Beast?
Both of them did. Well, Mr. Beast did, but like Oompaville provided the Bible.
Oh, so what I'm hearing is tempting fate. All right, this is going to go wonderful.
Pretty much. All right.
It was Oompaville's Bible.
Yes.
So it's already tainted.
Yes.
It's unconsecrated.
Now, if anybody wants me to stop the stream at any point to comment, please go ahead and do so. I am open for a rotation of individuals to come in and talk about this at any point. So if either of you have people that you think they should come and say hi for this, definitely let them know.
Super chat directed at me.
Yes.
Nerdy Texan for $9.99 shekels.
I'm not paying you for that.
Hello, everyone. I watched Ava's video of Juicy Smollett conviction being overturned. Good video. Bull, any update on when Junie will put on the maid outfit? I will check with her. She is a busy ferret, so please give time. I
think she's on
am
vacation.
still working on something in the background.
I think she's on vacation, but yeah, for the most part. All right. Thank you, Nerdy, for that. I appreciate it. If we do need to turn it down, we will, but let's just start where we have here. All right. And again, if you guys need me to stop at any point, go ahead and let me know. And we will be starting right now.
Find the result, maybe. And I look forward to seeing the comments and criticism. Firstly, would you be willing to put your hand on this Bible and swear?
Oh my gosh, you actually have a Bible?
I have two Bibles.
Oh my god, I'm going to turn it down to
We're both from the South. This will be an honest video.
Oh, your laptop's blocking it.
This will be an
1.25.
honest video. You're a man from North Carolina. I'm from Virginia.
The Bible Belt.
The Bible Belt.
Go
exactly.
brain
This
too
means
slow.
it's
No,
legal.
it's too fast.
Okay.
There we go.
Not expecting that. Okay.
This is like legal.
It is. I can go to jail.
The first biggest question for me and a lot of people that I've spoken to over the last couple months is like, why were you so
Now, chat, for full transparency, I've only ever seen like the first 5 minutes of this. So I only know like 5 minutes of this. I just wanted to make sure I knew where I could actually start this. Yeah.
Especially off the bat, like you did respond to the Ava Tyson stuff immediately, but like, you know, right after that, a bunch
It's
of
quiet?
other stuff came out in Dawson's video.
Yeah,
his
I
first
don't know
video
if it's
being
quiet on
destruction.
your
What was
end.
your
It was
reasoning
quiet
for
on
being
me,
so
even
silent?
watching the shared
great
thing.
question to kick off
I'm
on.
just going to boost my
You're
audio
actually
just to make
kinda laid out
sure
the timeline
that
there.
nothing's
This-
fucked.
The Ava stuff came out, and I put out that tweet. We hired the investigators to go look into
right,
it.
there, I can
And
hear.
part of that investigation is they recommended that I not talk about drama or really do anything online because it might influence, you know, witnesses or any people they might interview or
But for anybody that didn't really hear that, the first question is to Mr. Beast is why did you stay as quiet as you did, basically?
employees. So it's a little unfortunate because I told them, okay, I'll wait till the investigation is over. I believe that was literally like a week before the dog fact video came out. And then truthfully, just in transparency, I've never done one of these like big investigations before. And in my head, it was going to last like 2 or 3 weeks. It ended up taking a couple months. Apparently combing through all the documents and doing all the interviews and everything just took way longer than I thought because I've never had to bring in a top tier law firm and a former federal prosecutor and let him, do this really big thing. And so that kind of concluded a couple weeks ago when I put out the tweet of the follow-up.
Yeah.
Like that was the day I got the conclusion
And,
of it.
you know,
And I was like,
brought
okay,
in
for
that,
transparency, I'll throw this out.
Hillary
Okay, so
Clinton
let's
person.
pause it just real quick. I will say this. I said the main reason why he was not saying anything was because he hired a lawyer and a firm of lawyers, and they said, don't fucking say a thing. So glad that he listened to that.
Yeah. Because that's what you're kind of supposed to do.
Didn't we already know that he hired that spin doctor that Hillary Clinton had?
I don't know who he hired, personally.
Chad can probably back me up on that, but all I'm saying is some of the people he hired definitely probably good at their job, but with the people they've associated with, it was like, we're hiring this
Well,
person.
here's the problem. We don't necessarily know what his hires were. There's speculation as to what they were, but he did just give us a hint that who he did hire as part of the prosecution was a former prosecutor.
Again, I'm pretty sure it came out, but anyways, moving on.
Okay.
So up until that point, it was, I told Quinn Emanuel that, to protect the integrity, I wouldn't do anything or engage in any of this drama. And then after that, yeah, like you said, a lot of stuff had come out between when the investigation started and when it ended. And I was just kind of like, whoa, I don't really know how to like hit this stuff. And I made like a little response video, but that's just kind of not my style, where I just kind of like put a lot of the information that I assume we're going to talk about here out. And it just felt weird. Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I've never been in a situation where people have thrown this much stuff at me, and I definitely could have handled it better. Like, I probably should have, like, the second I could have talked, like, I don't remember the exact date, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
So,
Hey, Mizu, by the way.
oh, hello, Mizu.
Hi, Ava.
Hey, fish.
Where are
I
you?
recognize that other guy across from Mr. Beast.
It's
Yep.
Oopaville.
It's the Umpaville man.
Oh, why isn't your thing on here? Hold on. There it is. Are you enjoying your rice?
I am.
That's good.
How'd you know it was rice?
Because
And
you
here's the
always
thing,
eat
I know
rice.
that everybody wants
Fair.
to or wanted Mr. Beast to respond, but the one thing he should not have done is make a response video. Not until all this was gone through with a fucking comb.
Yeah.
Actually, Ava, there's an interesting thing. So this one fella, Nicholas Diorio, covered the video. Soggy Cereal, I mentioned him to you. And he went over the stuff. And essentially, if you want to be bad faith, TM, he was pushing that at like people like Tom Dark and stuff to review. So that was essentially him trying to push it. I remember the Soggy Cereal guy was not happy because he felt like he was being used to push a point that when fucking Soggy Cereal himself said, you should be, making your own response or talking about these, not just relying on me.
Mm-hmm. It's also interesting to note that Soggy Cereal, I initially was okay with Soggy Cereal's video. However, Harmful Opinions, who I'm kind of iffy on sometimes, put out a video that kind of just like breaking down some of the things that he talked about, showing where Soggy Cereal like omitted a lot of things, basically lying by omission for a couple of different things.
The Soggy Cereal, is that the one where he was like weirdly just like in a park bench going over
Nope.
printed out screenshots?
No. That's some other random retard that we don't care about.
Actually,
Okay. That was, I think, the Chris Eva allegation. I'm sorry, there's a lot to this, guys.
There's
is.
so much.
There is, and that's why we're gonna move on. Anyway, this thing here says more information on this was provided by Mr. Beast in the doc, linked in the description, specifically a document from QE outlining the initial recommendation for silence. And there is, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know where that is because there's a shit ton of links that Oopaville put in this. Oh, here it is. It's probably the top one, right
Gonna
here.
say, do you need me to look through links for you? Are you crippled?
Oh my gosh.
So is he saying that Mr. Beast was told to stay quiet?
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah, no. Mr. Beast is full on confirming that his group of lawyers and spin doctors and stuff told him shut up.
There's a
Yeah, because
Google
there's no
Doc.
way out of it.
There is a Google Doc. Oh my god.
From what I've seen, unless he has like some super damning stuff that nobody has seen
No.
before.
But
Is there
Mizu,
actually a
he
Google
swore
Doc?
on a
God damn it.
Bible.
Here, I'll
Well,
send it.
because the way I'll say it is, from everything I've seen, he has to have some smoking gun that proves that everyone who's talked about him is lying. That's the only way out of it that I can see.
Well, I'll tell you this. He may not have a smoking gun, but there was, because I don't know how much you know. Do you know about the
Remember,
Soggy
he
Cereal
doesn't
thing?
need a smoking gun. The people who are accusing him need to provide substantial evidence.
This is this is accurate. Ava's completely right.
Not only that, but remember, again, I don't know if you've seen the Soggy Cereal video, Mizu, but it came out that Dogpack could just have been throwing as much shit at the wall because he's a pissed off fired employee. That came out. Like,
I think he was an extremely disgruntled employee. Yeah, like I think the fact that he's taken down not one but 2 of the 4 videos total that he had up, as well as just there's a lot of things that challenges his credibility. Voces in una falsus in omnibus,
Mhm.
which is lie about one thing, you lie about all things.
Hmm.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Basically, he's thoroughly discredited. So
I
yeah, while people are still pretty mad at Mr. Beast, I doubt that.
Here's the problem.
The thing is, Dogpack did interviews with people. So you can't just discredit Dogpack. You have to discredit the people he interviewed with.
Yes, no, Mizu. It goes the other way around because he's discredited as a fucking idiot hack.
Yeah, I
He's
can
hurt
easily
their
discredit the
credibility.
people he interviewed with, because here's the thing. Where is, like, he's not a courtroom.
He's
They
not.
just decide to make interviews. They say this happened, but they don't provide any extra substantive evidence in that argument that they're at, that these are the things that Mr. Beast is doing that is illegal. Remember, several of Dogpack's claims were illicit, illegal.
You're dying,
She's
Ava.
going so hard
Rest
that
in
she's
peace.
dying.
But I get what she's saying because, a great example is.
Yeah, I
think
just
he
died.
accused-
Sorry, I went too
No,
hard.
see, like, I guess this is kind of where I differ in that I don't really care about a lot of the illegal stuff. That's for, like, a court to handle, and that's not for me or for any YouTuber to really talk about, in my opinion. My stuff is all of the things that have come out that just paint him as an asshole. Which
Mhm.
is, for me, that's enough to be like, yeah, I don't like him then. He's just an asshole.
Oh, that's totally
And
fine.
Well, okay,
There's
he
tons
is
of
an
stuff,
asshole.
like, outside of
But
Dogpack
it's fine
that
not to
is
like
him being
him,
an
but
asshole.
remember, there are criminal allegations, and so that's defamation per se. There are things that are more or less impacting him financially that needs to be addressed. He needs to. I mean, you have a right to face your accuser, and if Dogpack is coming out saying these things that are illegal, and he's not really providing anything more than testimony, not character, but witness testimony by itself is not enough evidence to get a conviction.
Yeah, I know that, but what I'm saying is that genuinely doesn't affect me. That's for Mr. Beast and his people to deal with. And at the end of the day, I don't care. Because I've never pushed those ideas. I've only ever pushed that he's an asshole.
I mean, yeah, and I will say too, I think Mr. Beast is an asshole as well. I think he probably always has been. But you don't make that much money without being ruthless in some way.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, that's kind of where it comes up to where I'm like, well, then I think it's kind of immoral to make that much money.
Perhaps. We're kind of getting off the main video here, but
Yeah, we're getting in the weeds.
I agree. Here, let's continue.
When we put that report out, probably should have done something like this right then. If I could go back in time, I would. And yeah, that's kind of like the brain dump, and then here I am.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask. You answered it towards the end, but like, do you regret that? Obviously.
Yeah. If I could go back in time, I would do what we're doing here because I assume this is like the correct format. It's gonna be a little bit more free flowing and natural, and I wouldn't have wasted so much time like trying to do a response. It's just not my.
He's
thing.
gonna Joe Rogan
I
it
like
up.
so much better. Or I'm assuming. I mean, we just started, but I think I'm gonna like so much better being asked the questions and answer it instead of just like sitting in a chair like this answering it. It just feels a little more natural.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that definitely, you know, that does line up obviously with what's happened, and it makes sense. And I definitely, you know, I feel like, you know, before talking to you, I definitely would imagine that you would regret have not making a response early.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Like that, because you could have just immediately, if there was information to debunk Dogpack's his first video off the bat.
Yeah, which obviously had so much
Could've done
disinformation in it. If
Yeah.
anyone saw Sagi's video or any
Yeah.
of the newer videos now coming out, like you would
we'll
see
get to
so
that
much.
too,
Yeah, so much of it.
Referenced
so it's,
it.
Yeah,
We
it's
did.
unfortunate that it happened on the back end of when I was said I would not talk about or address drama and things. And I mean, there's obviously, yeah, should have done this sooner. Whoops, but hey, better late than never.
Yeah. Did you think it would get this big?
No, I mean, truthfully, I thought, like, if you watch Sagi's video or any of these other videos that are coming out now showing all the discrepancies, I honestly thought a lot of people would find, like, the information proving the dishonesty earlier.
The Google?
Yeah, like, because a lot of this could have been, just figure out Google. A lot of this could, and now, I also have to be clear, like, I'm not perfect, and I'm not saying I've never done anything wrong, and you can't criticize me. Like, there are things I deserve criticism for, and I'm sure we'll get to some of those things in here. But there are a lot of things that are just not true. And, you know, on those things, like, I mean, we'll just get to it throughout this because I'm sure you're gonna ask me the questions. But there's just a lot of disinformation that was easily proven. Like the big one that I mean, videos with tens of millions of views collectively, claiming I called a guy Delaware because he committed a crime in Delaware. Like, that is not true. His name was just Delaware. I didn't, call him Delaware to make fun of him or anything. And I mean, I'm sure you're gonna ask him about it later, but there's literally, he was in a video before I hired him working at Best Buy wearing a name tag that said Delaware, and that was public information. And
I am interested if he addresses I am just interested to see how deep that goes, because the whole Delaware thing. Are you guys familiar with the Delaware shit?
I
No.
am.
Okay, just very briefly, Delaware is a convicted, or not, I don't.
No, convicted. Convicted.
Was he convicted? Okay, so he was a convicted. It's not predator, but he's on the sex offender registry, basically. And so Mr. Beast hired him, and everybody's like, "Why did you hire a sex pest?" Basically, somebody on the registry. And I'm very interested to see what his actual response on that is, because we haven't really gotten anything other than just, oh, Jimmy's mom did it and Jimmy was an idiot about doing it, because it was in the beginning of.
Hang on, I want to make a prediction.
Okay.
So the going narrative for that one is that, well, Jimmy was like, well, I mean, if he's a manager at this store, then he's fine, and either it was never disclosed, or it was disclosed, because if I remember correctly, I think as a person on the offender registry,
There's no way
you
it
have to
wasn't
disclose?
disclosed. It'd have to be disclosed, required by law.
Yeah, so then by that metric, well, it's definitely going to be interesting how he navigates that. If he just goes, oh, well, if he was not doing anything and I believe in second chances, it's like, interesting play. We'll see how that works out as a justification.
I agree. I am because here's the problem: is I don't feel like we really know what happened with the Delaware character. They all say that something happened, but I don't feel like we really have specifics.
Fuck no, we got jack shit.
So anyway, let's continue.
Anyone could have saw that. Even during when that was getting shared a lot a couple months ago, I even sent that to a couple YouTubers. I was like, hey, just so you know, I didn't call him Delaware because of this messed up thing. That was just his name, and here's proof. And I guess I probably shouldn't say the name of the creators, but one of them literally just said to me, well, it's not really cool to like you or defend you right now, so I don't really care whether or not it's true, or I don't want to take the video down because then people are gonna think I'm controlled opposition. I was like, whoa. And then also that same photo, are you gonna throw some things on the screen for that?
Definitely.
Yeah, so throw it on the screen. That same photo, right after that second dog pack video, started to get traction on Reddit, and saying hey, this is a lie. Jimmy didn't call him Delaware to make fun of him, committing a crime in Delaware. That's just his name. And it got taken down by the mods on r/YouTube drama. And that's when I realized oh, anytime there's a post proving that I'm not evil, they were taking it down. So it was a little unfortunate too, because I wasn't saying anything. And then on Reddit, anytime something was proving that I wasn't evil or contrarian to what everyone was saying, they were
going for
suppressing
the
it or
victim
censoring it.
narrative.
I'm interested. That would really I already am really disenfranchised by Jimmy, even though I really have enjoyed a lot of learning from him. But if he does that, I'm gonna really be upset because
Look, I don't like Mr. Beast. I've never followed him. I've never really even watched any of his videos. But let us just go from this angle,
I'm sorry.
right?
I just want to say, I find
Anything
it.
that he does, there is a group of people who are out to get him. And anything that he does, there's going to be people who, if he does any effort of trying to exonerate himself, there will be people who try to censor that, because people love to see big people like this fail.
yeah.
So I just random point or observation I just noticed. I love the fact that Ava, the lolly, not a fan of Mr. Beast, never watched him. Meanwhile, Akko, the autistic one who's older, has watched and was a fan.
I was chat. I bought his 100 million merch because I had never bought anybody's merch before. Actually, that's not true either. I had not ever been a part of something big like that. And I was like, I want to buy his merch, and I still have that shirt somewhere. Maybe I'll
Ava, I'm
follow
so
it.
proud. Good job not getting groomed by Mr.
Hey,
Beast.
hey,
Akko, I'm sorry you got
listen.
groomed by Mr. Beast.
Listen, I still think that the way he made videos is useful, even if some of it's astroturfed. I still like study it.
Sorry,
I-
Akko.
Okay, listen. I got nothing else to say. Let's move on.
Like,
It's an extreme.
so you're saying it's like a echo chamber, which I mean, Reddit r//YouTube drama is.
Yeah, I know, but it's unfortunate when there's a post with 10,000 upvotes claiming something false about you, and then everyone, then a couple people are like, wait, that's not true, here's proof, and then they delete it every time. So then everyone's like, okay, well then that must be true, because they're also deleting the comments on that post that prove it's not. And so then then it's just like, now, you know, again, I'm not trying to sound extreme, but it's just like, oh, you're censoring information. And then that paired with other YouTubers, when I would call them and share it with them, they'd just be like, well, I don't want to be Mr. Beast Glazer, so I don't really. They wouldn't say it this direct, but they're just essentially say like, I don't really care if it's true or not. I'm just gonna say what other people say. Like, sorry.
Do you have evidence of like people there being posts that existed and then didn't exist on Reddit that
Oh,
got?
of course. Yeah,
Okay,
I can
cool.
send you.
Yeah, if you send me
Yeah,
anything,
you can
of
throw it up
that.
on screen. I mean, that's not.
I'm curious of this.
Mm-hmm.
I have the doc open. Where is it?
I would also like to side point, as even somebody that kind of likes Oompaville's videos every once in a while, I do not think he's a good person to do a hard-hitting interview like this.
He even says at the beginning that he's like not a journalist, but he's just doing this.
Oh, it's not even not a journalist thing. He's just
No,
shit at actually
he is
calling people
definitely
out.
not an interview type person.
like he basically, because he did the interview with that vegan teacher and basically just let her get away with everything. Never called her on a single thing. And then by the end of it, he's like, you know what? She's actually kind of a nice
Hell,
woman.
I remember when he reported on himself being scammed with his candy company, and he really didn't like the confrontation was like almost not, you know?
Non-existent. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. Oh, sweet Jesus, this is gonna
Yeah,
be a wonderful.
he called it out, but he called it out very like har har, oh, kind of funny, but not kind of funny because it's like $500,000 in the hole. He suddenly was.
Oh, that's a lot of money to lose.
Yeah.
Wait, Oopaville?
Yeah, Upaville got scammed, and I guess he wasn't very ham on the person that scammed him. That's crazy.
So what I'm hearing is this
He got
broski's a bit
scammed
of a
trying to
bottom.
make a candy company, and so he built this huge candy machine. He bought this huge thing that like he used this guy as an intermediary who just like ordered it from China and like fucked him around, dicked him around for a whole bunch. Sent this guy who had no idea what was going on. Like it was almost $1 million. He was set out by the time they found out it was a scam.
Got it. So he sounds like he's just a bitch then. Like, I'm sorry. Oompaville's done some pretty decent vids that I've seen from a cursory glance, but sweet Jesus, this behavior, he sounds like a pussy whipped.
Well,
He's a guy who likes to believe in people, and sure, he could stand to be more cynical, but I'm not gonna like fault somebody for trusting somebody at their word.
I
It's
guess
called
I
expect more.
am, because there is a fine line between naivete and stupidity. And I believe he is well over the line of just, wow, dude, you're retarded.
Mhm.
you think so?
He
I'm
would
siding
fall
with
for
you
the
too.
Nigerian scammer.
Oh, it's sad. That's so sad, but you're probably right. Oh,
I feel like he would, and I feel like it's almost dismissed a little bit, only because like he admits that he's that retarded. He'll say he's that dumb and he doesn't look into things, and it's kind of that Joe Rogan where Alex Jones like, okay, just because you admit that you're ignorant doesn't lift you of any obligation to improve yourself and learn.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta be honest. I'm kind of retarded.
all right.
Sorry.
Let's move on.
Not like a conspiracy theory. That's
Yeah,
just,
of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Just, you know.
we can find quite a few.
I'm not that
By
good
the way,
at
really
using
quickly, let's look at some of the, because they did link some screenshots of the post. I wanted to show this off real quickly here.
Linky,
So-
linky.
So here is one These are comments that apparently were removed. Oh yeah, here's one. So this person says it was falsely accusing James Warren of domestic violence and abuse. So this is in relations to the dog pack video. Then it was falsely reporting on a fake luncheon recall, and all the alleged CP shared in a group chat was not, in fact, CP. Dogpack and Rosanna have shown time and time again to prioritize immediate attention and cloud over serious fact-checking. And then this YouTube mod says, comment post removed for misinformation, which is dumb because, yes, both Rosanna and Dogpack did a shitty job.
Not to mention, if that was actual fucking CP,
they would have gone to jail.
They would have gone to fucking jail.
I can't believe that.
I will say, because I have...
Can't, like, you reporting on it does not give you the ability to view or, even worse, distribute it. Like, come on, people.
So I will throw this out there, because they were definitely extremely irresponsible with doing that, and I'm not defending them at all. But when I read the messages that were sent with the supposed images, in some states they would actually be held legally liable, because according to them in their own messages, they thought the people were underage. And in some states, the mere fact that you think someone is underage when you share the image is enough to be convicted.
True, actually, and it's intent. That is what's important.
Yeah.
Not every state, but there are a lot of states where they would have actually gotten arrested for that because they physically said in the message, I think this is an image of an underage naked child.
Right. Regardless, wouldn't that also make Rosanna and Dogpack liable as well?
Yes, it would.
It's still funny. It's still retarded.
But
I'm just
saying, like, this is a case where it ends up both of them are in the
liable.
wrong.
And in fact, they'd be guilty of distribution.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that's interesting that both sides are just factually in the wrong
suck.
on this.
Both sides are evil.
Distribution. Sorry. God damn my fucking microphone.
Oh, you're good. All right, let's continue.
Google. So I'll need you to help me with that. Yeah, so to circle back to the Quinn Emanuel investigation, the big thing on the internet, on Twitter specifically, was that you found yourself to be innocent. Of course, you paid a law firm to find yourself innocent.
I saw those memes, yeah.
There's the big meme. How would you respond to the allegation that the investigation was biased from the start?
Yeah. So first off, to just set the foundation, I think a lot of people are saying, oh, of course, Jimmy did an internal investigation and found himself, they didn't find any wrongdoing, which is also not true, which I assume we'll go into that more later. They did find some wrongdoing, just not in regards to like the serious Ava allegation. So that's a, false truth. And then on top of that, it wasn't an internal investigation. It was an external investigation, which was clearly laid out in the things we showed.
Yeah, a third-party investigation.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, it is a little bit of a, like, a lot of people I saw were saying like, well, you paid them. And it's like, well, yeah, top tier lawyers and federal prosecutors don't work for free. So I have to pay them.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how to debunk that one. I mean, it just is what it is. But yeah, we hired Quinn Emanuel, which is one of the top law firms in the world. Like, I mean, it was very expensive, but I intentionally picked them because they have a reputation and they're not just going to destroy their entire business to be biased towards me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then it was
Quinn
led by a
Emanuel,
former federal
I think those are
prosecutor
the Hillary
who did
Clinton
the whole
folk.
thing. I mean, it was pretty intense. I mean,
This is a bro trust me kind of thing where it's like, I don't trust law firms.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, they wouldn't risk their reputation for this. Law firms do it all the time. It comes out like literally every other week a law firm that was genuinely reputable did some scummy shit because they got paid too much.
Precisely, because, not only that...
Yeah, I mean, look at what Owens did. Owens was apparently reputable before the Sarah Boone case.
Yeah. Like, this thing on his part is an absolute non-argument. Well, a law firm would never lie to people. Yes, they would.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they're pleading, he's pleading,
Elaine
authority.
Brennan was actually very reputable as a deposition lawyer, but you get her in front of a judge, she becomes retarded.
Mm-hmm. Here's the other intriguing thing. So, what a lot of folks don't seem to know is, yes, someone can have a reputation, but then you also spend that reputation. And a lot of lawyers, no offense, Ava, tend to abuse that really quickly because it's like, the whole point is you just need people to believe. It doesn't matter if it's the truth or not. It's what can you get people to believe. That's kind of the long and short of it, at least how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I would counter that with if you are hiring a law firm to uncover the truth behind something and not to represent you in
Okay.
court. Well, now you're more in the line of like private investigator, first of all. And two, the purpose for which you have been hired is innately different
Chat,
than like being represented in court.
chat. Let's not be anti-Semitic here. All right. I don't
Well, the thing
want you
is
to be
with that
removed.
you're assuming that they hired them to find the truth.
Oh,
In
wait.
reality, they hired them to clear their name. So the lawyer's going to clear their name.
Hi, Dev.
Oh goodness. Chat, please do not
Dev, have
fight
you
amongst
lost
each
20
other.
pounds yet? I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for the
Okay,
sweating for
how about
Okay,
this
video.
let's not get off topic.
What
I
was
really
the
don't care
name
about
of
who's in my
Johnny
chat.
Depp's lawyer? What was his name? Johnny Depp's lawyer, who is responsible for creating the suit, right? He did an independent investigation, found out all that shit about Amber Heard. Are you saying that Johnny Depp just hired him to clear his name and that's all he did? Because I'd say that is a case of somebody
No, I was listening to her.
So was I. But I get generally what Ava's saying. No, Ava, that's not the point I'm making with it. I'm trying to say that long and short of it is I'm saying that lawyers, when you are in the courtroom or anywhere, it's what narrative can we push to win. Yes, there are lawyers that definitely want to just do what's right and do the good thing. Those exist. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just simply saying, as you've seen with like Quinnipiac or the Sarah Boone ones and all that, it can quickly turn into, well, we control the narrative, or what can we get people to believe? Because it's just about pushing out something and taking control of the narrative at the end.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's just one of those things. The point is, what he's saying doesn't necessarily matter.
yes.
Correct.
That is
Like,
the
he's
point.
trying to be like, well, they're a lawyer, so a lawyer would never lie. Good. That's not how this works.
Lawyers lie all the time. Look at Better Call Saul. Saul Goodman lies all the time.
Don't use Better Call Saul.
the lawyer would never lie, but like say this stuff comes up in court, right? Let's say this comes up in court. What would end up happening is if Jimmy hired these people to clear his name instead of to do a non-biased investigation. Well, then the statement that it was a non-biased investigation, when that's not the purpose that it was hired for, showed up in court as not that. The ED, it would get in trouble for that, right? Well,
He's
I
not
would
talking
say
about
that
legal
if
things,
you're
though.
hiring a law team to represent you in
It's
court.
okay,
Yes, they're
thank you.
going to defend you egregiously. But if you're hiring a law firm to investigate,
He didn't hire a law
they're
firm. You're
going to
getting
tell
you're
you-
getting really hung up on that.
they're going
This
to
has
give
nothing
you,
to
like,
do
the
with
results
lawyers.
of their investigation.
And-
Whether or not you publicize those is up to you. But that's what they're going to do because it's what they've been hired to do.
You're getting really hung up on the lawyers, Ava. He didn't hire lawyers to defend him. He hired an investigative team to prove that he was not a dick. And they
Yeah.
came out and said, yeah, he's not a dick. Because none of the stuff he's talking about right now is
He
illegal.
just finished saying he hired a law firm to investigate him. That's what he just
He's-
said.
He's changed it 3 different times. It was an
Yeah.
investigative team, it was a law firm, and then it was the attorney general.
Well, I think they all are the same.
Nah, it's not.
It really isn't.
What I'm
Akka,
saying
but
is like they're all in the same cabal. Like they're all the same group.
No, I'm not accusing anybody
No,
of being
it's
a
a
cabal.
former prosecutor who's part of a law firm. That's what's going on. Yeah. It's a singular law firm here that's been hired, and in that law firm there is a former prosecutor, a former AG who works in this law firm.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
also-
the stuff he's discussing aren't crimes. They didn't investigate them for crimes. They investigated them for shit like, did they hire a pedophile or not? And did they know when they hired it?
Correct. I
Like that-
would like I would like to say one thing so we can refocus ourselves back. I just want to say this to
No,
Ava because I know
the
it's going to
law
get
firm
her
was
clapping.
hired to investigate the Chris Ava Tyson investigations, which was contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
I would just like to say, Ava, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
All right.
All right, let's continue.
We're getting off kilter here. I appreciate it, but I really don't want to be here till 6 a.m. I know I will be, but I don't want to be. We're only 10 minutes in, and this is 2 hours long.
I know, it's just fun amping
right.
her up.
Let's continue. Like the stream, chat. This is going all night long.
I mean, transparently, they even like scanned my phone. Like they have messages I sent to my girlfriend, and I'm like, why is this even relevant? They're like, I mean, if you want a thorough one and you want us to like be confident in what we're saying, we need to see everything. Like they went pretty hardcore on it, which is why I ended up taking a couple months. Because truthfully, when I started this process, I didn't realize like how intense it was. But you know, I gave them the reins to everything, and yeah, it took longer than I thought. But I don't know. I mean, is there any like how else do I prove it besides? I mean, I think another thing that missing context people don't have is like, if they found anything illegal, they're obligated to report it to the police. Like this like that's how these things work when they do these investigations. It's not like they could be like, hey Jimmy, we found this illegal thing. We'll just sweep it on the rug.
But it's all right because you paid us.
Yeah,
Hey,
like
Jimmy,
so
we found
it's just
your
in every way. I
meth
just don't think people understand.
What?
Oh, I was making a joke. It's like, hey Jimmy, we found your meth lab. Don't worry, kiddo.
Oh, no,
We're
we
just gonna just give us 100K and it's good to go.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
can actually somewhat speak on this because I've seen this exact same case happen before. If it's not something illegal with the business, they don't necessarily have to report it. And this is how a lot of businesses have gotten away, specifically with this. If you like hire them to investigate, did the business commit crime, and they don't find like specifics that the business itself committed crime, then they don't really have to say anything else.
I guess my only question, and I guess Ava can step in if Ava hasn't been assassinated by the Pixies.
Yeah, what they will do is they will narrow the scope of their investigation. So they will say, hey, has the business here violated this specific crime? Maybe they find out other criminal activity, but because they didn't find this specific crime, they might not report it. But a lot of investigators are also known as mandatory reporters, which means they're obligated by law to report criminal activity of any kind in any investigation.
All right, that answered my question because I was going to say, so if they came across RAPE
Thank you for spelling
allegations
that
or
out.
evidence, then what would they do with such things?
I'll probably report it to the police if I had to imagine.
I know. I just want to hear Ava's. I want to hear it come out of Ava's
They
mouth.
they'd report it to the police. Yeah.
And I think
This is actually what happened with Twitch and Dr. Disrespect. When that arbitration happened and the allegations came out to the arbiter reported it to the authorities, and the authorities launched their own investigation into it, of which that's why they said law enforcement found no wrongdoing, is because that they were informed of what happened through the arbitration, and then they themselves did their own investigation, found that the claims that Twitch was making for the ban was not valid, and it wasn't a violation of any laws.
yeah, I would also say that, and I know Ava can probably vouch for this as well, is because he said they were investigating the Chris Ava Tyson thing. The easy way around that is they don't have access to any of Chris's stuff. They only have access to Chris's business stuff. And that immediately cuts out just a massive part of ways they could have been in contact with.
Exactly. Exactly. If he narrows the scope of the investigation quite a bit, it means that they can
Hang on, though.
lie through just omission, kind of. And it's not that lie as in they know what was the truth and chose not to report it. They just didn't try as hard as they could have to obtain the truth.
I would like to ask. I would like to hang on to one thing though. And Akka, you might have to kick it back like 20 seconds or so. I think he had said, though, that he showed his private messages. Now, whether that's true or not, we're never going to know.
He said that he
But-
shared his private messages with his girlfriend, and the reason why he did is because they said, if you want to be as thorough as you claim you want to, you have to show us everything. So, according to Mr. Beast, he showed private messages between him and his girlfriend, and I don't know if that includes everybody, That at the very least includes him and at least one intimate person in his life.
Yeah. Like, and all he had to do would be like, okay, I'm not going to show the Chris Ava Tyson stuff, and boom.
Exactly. So there you go. That's how you do it without the lawyers being absolutely evil. And there you go. See, Ava, the lawyers wouldn't be evil in this situation.
Like, again, this isn't me, by the way, saying that, like, he definitely did this or anything like that. It's saying he's trying to use this as an excuse for why he is correct, when
and just
none of this
because,
means anything.
A investigator or a mandatory reporter is obligated to report any criminal stuff that they've been doing doesn't mean that they do. These are things that in the ideal world, attorneys, mandatory reporters, investigators of any kind would do. That doesn't necessarily mean that they will, or that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we see it with teachers all the time, because teachers are mandatory reporters when like child abuse and stuff happens, and all the time they just ignore it or they don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Too much work. It's too much paperwork,
And-
Mizu.
And yes, chat, it is about the Chris Tyson's. Well, it's about Chris Tyson and Mr. Beast. All right.
His whole defense here is on paper it's illegal, and on paper this is what people do. Therefore, that's exactly how everything happened, and you can't ask any more questions. When that's not how the real world works, and he knows that. Like, this is definitely something he was told, like, to phrase it in this specific way.
Yep.
Mhm.
Coaching practice does wonders.
Because I'm being bothered by it, even though I was going to read it eventually. Shore Fat Otaku, thank you for the 5 Canadian. EFAP the video. I would really rather not, though. I have the
EFAP
day
can
off.
go 24 hours.
I have
If
the
you
day
want
off.
that,
And I
$150, and then we'll consider it.
I don't want to do that. Like, I mean, $150 is a lot of money, but like, at that point, I might as well just fucking get food.
I mean, I could try and juice him for more. He is still a nice, big, squishy pay piggy. Squish, squish.
Okay, let's continue.
And like it's it was obviously Coin Emmanuel. That's why we paid them, and it was pretty thorough. And
Yeah. So I mean, those are two things that make sense, right? We just covered two back-to-back things that make sense. A, you waited a long time for the investigation. B, you paid like a very reputable law firm, whatever, to investigate. Both of those things make sense logically from your perspective, but also optically from the outside looking in. For people who are just seeing the allegations, they're like, "Oh, this guy looks guilty."
Yeah.
You know, he's building this big sort of law team, and he's not responding, and he's like it. So it's kind of bizarre and unfortunate. Because like it does make sense, like from a logical perspective.
because there's two things I could do. I could do an internal investigation,
Yeah,
but that's dumb
great idea.
because I don't want to audit myself.
Let your mom do it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll have my mom do it, or I could do an external one. That's what we did. And again, it's like because I didn't have control over it. Obviously, if I did, I would have been like, bro, do this in 2 weeks so I can get this out there. Like I didn't want it to take months, but I mean that's part of an external investigation. You don't have control over it.
Now, would you consider? So you obviously regret the remaining silent. Would you consider that the third-party investigation as a whole, in looking back, would that have been? Would you say that's a mistake?
No, I just think I would push back on like, do I really have to be silent? Like,
Okay.
can I just like do this thing? Like go clap back on some of these things, but
Yes, you do have to be silent.
I would also, I didn't want to interrupt it again because we've already like litigated this 20 times over, but I don't think this actually counts as an external investigation. An external investigation is the police come in and they forcibly take anything they want. This is somebody you hired and you could tell them no at any time. And you could be selective with what they were allowed to have.
Legally, as an external of, this is a third party investigation. That is the definition of an external investigation.
Yeah, it might be the legal definition.
I mean,
it's the legal definition. There's a legal definition of a lot of things. Realistically, this is an internal investigation.
I would probably go with the legal definition, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, the legal definition only really counts if we're going to court. None of this was ever going to court because it would have gone to court over Chris Tyson, not Mr. Beast. It's
Yeah,
not
this is very
illegal to
true.
hire a pedophile.
No, I'm
No.
gonna let you know right now. The legal definition is the only thing that actually counts.
Not for this because he's debating court of public opinion, and he's openly saying that that's what he's trying to fight is the court of public opinion.
Which you're not going to win against. Trust me, I should know.
sorry. I just thought about that
I
when you
don't-
said that.
I don't know what you're laughing about. I'm talking about all the times I've read Google Docs of all these VTubers that try and prove the court of public opinion wrong, and it's just like, you're not gonna do it, bro. Ski. I don't know what you're talking about here.
Continue.
All right.
Like some of these things, people were apparently talking to ex-employees or whatever, and so it just gets muddy because I really didn't want the integrity of the investigation to like, you know, be in question or anything. So I was like super paranoid where I was like, okay, this is what they said. I don't want to push back or anything. But yeah, obviously in hindsight, like, I mean, a lot of these things that were just blatantly lies. Like if I just clap back instantly, people were just like, okay, cool, and moved on.
Would you consider making some details of the investigation that have yet to be seen public? Obviously, there's like a level of confidentiality that is required legally.
Exactly, yeah.
But like, is there anything?
Well, that's the thing. Like, what we put out as much as we could, but I mean, obviously they did dozens of interviews, including, you know, alleged people who were victims, and I mean, like I said, my message to my girlfriend, like they gathered a lot, so I don't really think I can. I mean, there's a lot of sensitive data and information in there. You know?
What about like a just to back up your claims to their
but things on like how like they did it independently and they weren't biased, like that side. I mean. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what people would want to see, but yeah, I mean, we can figure it out.
Just from what I know about like retainer contracts with lawyers and working with, you know, third-party investigations, things like, which I don't have any experience with anything that big, obviously.
Yeah.
But maintaining a level of compliance, like, I mean, if there's like a retainer contract, something showing that, you know, you shouldn't.
Now, this is where I'm ignorant. Like, I don't even know really what a retainer contract is, but
yeah, I mean, like
if there's any way I could, of course.
Like your third party saying, Jimmy, don't talk. Like, just basically giving credence to what you're saying, even more
gotcha.
so, more evidence of what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, that would
Ain't
be
no
something
way
I'd have
you're
to, like, go
ignorant
talk to
on
the team
that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would help.
if
me.
that's something where people desperate.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Just from a business perspective, it's like, ain't no way you've been doing this long and you don't know what the fuck a retainer contract is. That has come up. Don't fucking play.
I don't know. And I'm not gonna sweep for Mr. Beast here, but he did have his mom do a lot of shit for him.
Nah,
I
maybe.
could see an influencer not knowing what a retainer contract is.
I can't see Mr. Beast not knowing.
You don't think
I was
so?
gonna say.
A lot of people forget Mr. Beast was in business way before YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just an influencer, and he never was. That's how he got as big as he did.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Wasn't he streaming at like 15, 16 he started
Yes.
doing
No.
this?
Jake Paul and Logan Paul were.
They were Disney kids.
Yeah.
I mentioned Jake Paul.
How dare you? All right, let's continue.
Really want transparency. I mean,
Yeah.
we can figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, that would just help me. I'm not sure if people, honestly, I don't know if people would give a fuck.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know either.
I would
because if people
appreciate
are like, we think Quinn Emanuel's biased, like even no matter what I show them, if they think a top tier law firm would willingly potentially tank their rep for me, like I don't know if there's anything that's
yeah,
ever
it's
to convince
foolish,
them.
right?
Yeah,
It is foolish, and it makes sense. But once again,
Again, we're not gonna harp on this, but yes, law firms do that all the time.
Right, so Jimmy, also known as Bishop Beast, was 13 years old when he started streaming on YouTube.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I
Alright.
wonder. Sorry, just a random brain thought. I wonder if any of that stuff has survived, or if he's
What, his old
eliminated it
videos?
all.
I'm pretty sure all of his old videos have survived.
Yeah. No, that's intriguing to me because it's like then you actually get to see.
He deleted a number
mutated.
of them. But that's the thing. Like he has clearly not been doing business longer than he's been doing YouTube. He's been doing YouTube since he was in freaking middle school. But
I didn't say it was
If-
longer.
if he was out of teens doing this and his mom was doing you said he was doing it before he was doing any YouTube stuff, didn't you?
I said that he was doing business stuff way before like his Mr. Beast channel. Because he's been a businessman.
Who's the elf? This is Ava. She is based Lolly Elf,
She's a lolly.
the legal
He
lolly.
was also involved in crypto scams before all this, but I kind of just let that go. Because a lot of people have been involved in crypto scams, so.
Accurate.
This fucking point.
Yeah, he
isn't?
was. I know a lot about that stuff.
Who hasn't at this fucking point? Coming to a store near you, Occo coin,
Oh gosh, no.
$5.99.
All right, let's continue.
Hey guys, I'm not gonna push it or anything, but Elfcoin is coming up.
Elf coin. All right, let's continue.
Again, it's like optically, there is a very easy, lowest common denominator way to look at stuff.
Yeah.
And
Also, what I would say to those people is I'm here, so it's not like I'm like maybe that argument would work if I just never did anything, but I'm here, so
in the lion's den.
yes. Controlled opposition towards me. Hey, also, I'd love to say, I don't know if he's posting this chronologically or not, but I mean, he also did interview Dogpack multiple times. So it's
multiple times.
because I could have done this with anyone, but I think this one makes sense because you've literally had the other side on here. So
yeah, and also to be clear,
I
as
don't
well,
think this
I
is
have not
helping your case
signed,
either,
like,
Mr. Beast.
No,
No.
it's showing that you are very keyed into this and are just addicted to knowing what's going on so you can prep yourself for the talking points.
Well, and also he's like, well, I showed up here. It's like, yeah, you showed up on the channel that's like opened. Their very first thing before this even started was, I am not good at doing any of this.
Mm-hmm.
This is not helping your case.
Yeah, the most softball of softball interviews.
But you had
Like,
the other
I
side.
want this
Yeah,
guy
it's
as
not
my
like you
opponent.
chose Sean Evans with Hot Ones to interview you, you know?
Life
I
is
think
like
he has been
Roblox.
on
I
Hot
don't
Ones.
partake in it.
Like, I'm not
Gosh.
saying he's 100% wrong. I'm just saying, again, this is one of those things
Now,
where,
that
like,
would
these
be
start.
an amazing interview video. Could you imagine grilling Mr. Beast Jimmy with these questions over hot wings? My God. And Sean Evans would find some crazy shit from when he was 13 years old to talk to him about.
But yeah, this is I feel like all of this just starts slowly stacking up more and more, where he's like, but I did this, this, and this. It's like, yeah, you did it all in the most softball way possible.
Yeah,
This
for
is
an
all a
error.
lot of fluff. And I will say, like, until we get, like, his responses document and evidence, you know, this is fluff.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
It's
continue.
good fluff, but we can see the fluff because we're not suckers.
You don't want to take too much fluff because that shit will fatten you right up.
An
Yeah,
NDA
you know,
or
I don't need a fluffer.
There's genuinely nothing that's been signed. You haven't given me $1 million.
No. Hey, you should say
yeah.
I haven't given you a penny.
A penny.
'Cause
Okay, yeah.
You gave 999.
Nothing. You've given me nothing, bro.
Yeah.
It's actually just, it's kind of interesting. It really is interesting. This is a bold move, I would consider. It's quite a bold move.
And it's even more bold because I'm never vulnerable on camera. And like,
Yeah, it's from a lot of perspectives, it is quite bold.
Again, I don't think like this helps him. Also,
Yeah, no, focusing
Bug.
on this is like,
Bug, thank you for
Talking
the 5.
about how good you're doing is not the play.
No, Bug, thank you for the 5. Getting on the ground floor on Occo coin pre-ICO block. Let's go.
Let's go!
Oh my gosh. Thank you, chat.
You're welcome, Akko.
And it's not like I haven't
Yeah,
been
Oompa
critical.
Loompa. I
I
knew
feel like
that
I've
you
been
weren't
very
the Willy
critical. I
Wonka.
feel-
I just didn't know you're so adept with glaze.
Ooh. Damn.
Well, and like talking to you, I feel bad. You know, obviously because I'm a person. There's different levels to how much you care about shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is. If there were a testament, it would be that would be a testament to this being being a meaningful source of information. This video, I feel like. I hope.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is definitely outside my comfort zone, but I think it's important.
Yeah, cool.
I
Okay,
don't
so
think it's
that's kind
outside
of
of
past
his
like the
comfort zone.
main initial allegations. We can move on to sort of corporate culture and HR practices. That's been a big sort of point that a lot of critics have hammered home.
Yep.
And
We're just getting right into the hard hitting stuff.
hell yeah. So there have been a lot of questions about your workplace culture, such as a lack of diversity or also HR problems.
Yeah.
What, if anything, have you done to address these concerns? How have you handled it
Yes.
since information came out, and how do you plan on handling it in the future?
Okay, so we'll start with the diversity one. If I forget the HR one, just bring it up when I finish that one. Diversity, I have seen a lot of people mention that about our company, which, I mean, that one's just not even true. Like, I mean, Feastables, for example, a couple months old, but like almost 70% of our company is women. And we actually, because we do dub studios around the world, now zooming out of Feastables over to content, I mean, we actually have...
This is one of those questions
crazy
only
amount of
lip shits really care about.
Very true, but he's got to ask it anyway.
What about your company diversity? I don't care. None of
So
that matters.
HR practices. So this would be hiring a pedophile. This would be under that. Like, I'm going to say this right now. Like, I might be wrong about this, but this almost feels like these questions were crafted by a lawyer. The way that your HR practices, I know what that means, but the layman might not.
Very accurate.
I will say, just knowing Oompaville, though, this is something he would probably care about.
Is Oompa
But it
one of
is
those
something that
people?
only like libshits really care about.
Is he kind of one of those people?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. I see. All right, let's continue.
In our company. So because we have 400 people that work for me. It's not just me and the boys on the camera, which is the 5 you see. So that one, the few people have claimed that like they don't have any data to back it up. So I guess I probably should have brought some data here. I don't want to just say percentages off the top of my head.
If you have, I'm sure you've got some kind of
but
pull something from
I
HR.
really that one I just don't think is rooted in anything. And then what was the second part?
HR, yeah. How have you handled HR problems? What HR problems?
Oh
have
yeah.
popped up?
So that one, it's a little bit of a general question.
I want to
but,
see a Vladimir
obviously,
Putin style, where he's like, "Here, I have documents," and they just get like a historical document wielder to just walk in with the quote unquote proof.
in general, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of things about HR stuff in my company, and I think one thing people don't have is just the context. Like, I think they think my channel is just like 5 people or 10 people or 20, whatever. Like, they don't realize the size of it. Like, specifically because our videos have gotten
By
so
the
big,
way, welcome Sparky's Tech.
Welcome, Sparky.
Sparky, how you doing?
I will say, I think Mr. Beast is just talking out of his ass with this one. People think my company is like 5 or 6 people. No, people know that there are 5 or 6 faces, but everybody knows you have like a large company. I don't know where you're getting off with this. People think it's only a couple people working with me. No, nobody thinks that. I mean, there's some kids that might think that, but we're not kids.
Yeah, doesn't Mr. Beast have a fucking facility?
Yes.
Yes.
He's got like
a few.
something like 150, 200 employees in one of his companies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's have 5 or 6 people do these rigged games with thousands of people in them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Papa,
I don't know what he's talking about here.
Papa, thank you for
Especially when all the
199.
accusations are coming from like random ex-employees. Like, we can talk about how good the accusations are or aren't, but you're like, oh, we believe there's only like 5 or 6 people that work for me. All the accusations are coming from random employees. What are you talking about? Everybody knows.
Mm-hmm. Papa, thank you for the 199.
Yeah,
I
and if
appreciate it.
he's talking about like a majority of his audience, if a majority of his audience are children, maybe they believe that.
Mm-hmm.
This is just such like a shitty response.
He's from Texas? No, what, Oompa? Probably. I don't know.
Oh, Oompa's from Texas.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, Oompaville's from Texas.
All right, let's move on.
I'm going to give a little range because depending on how many people we've hired in the last month, it's somewhere between like 250 or 300 people work at my production company. So this is a big company. There's a lot of people. And then on top of that, when we do like bigger videos where we need to build big sets or whatever, sometimes we bring in hundreds of contractors. So there's a lot of people that work here. And like, I just want to blanketly say, like, companies at this size, like, you can't ever guarantee that every interaction everyone's going to have is always going to be positive with each other. That's just impossible. So I want to start off by just saying that because I don't want people to watch this and then like a year from now, like hear some rumor and be like, oh, Jimmy didn't learn. Like, any company of this size, there's always going to be some problem someone has. Now, having said that, I'm not trying to use it as like a blanket of like, see, and shield myself. There are 2 things that are like someone in my position who runs a company like this is in control of. One is, making sure we're not fostering anything inappropriate and, allowing it. And then 2, when it inevitably happens, because it just will in a company my size. And I'm trying to be transparent here. Like, it's, how do you respond to it? And then in the making sure you're not fostering it, part of Quinn Emanuel, when we had them do their investigation, is I had them look at every system in my company. I had them talk to my employees and see if there's anything they could bring to Quinn Emanuel's attention that they could make me aware of. And I think it was in the report, is like we established an anonymous hotline because Quinn Emanuel was showing me data that like sometimes people don't feel comfortable talking to HR or their boss. And like, if you have an anonymous hotline to go to someone outside the company that can hear a complaint and then beam it into you without disclosing who it was, like you'll get more, honest feedback, because there's so they show us a lot of things like that. Also in making sure we're not fostering it. Like I think it's also in there as well. We leveled up like our C-suite because
Thank you,
I've had a
Ava.
lot of people that have grown with me, but like me, they've never ran a company that has hundreds of employees before. So I actually just hired a couple people who have worked on Fortune 500 companies who have actually ran companies of this size before. And so, they've shown me lots of things that bigger companies do that obviously I'm just ignorant on because I'm a YouTuber. You know what I mean? I spend my life staring at retention charts and CTR, not how to structure a business. So just that's phase 1, is making sure you're not fostering, a culture that supports that stuff. And then inevitably, like I said, you can't ever guarantee when you're working with hundreds of people full time. And then when you add part-time people, potentially over 1,000 sometimes, you just got to make sure if there are issues that, actual real issues, like if someone complains because someone peed on a toilet seat, like I'm not oh well. But if there's an actual serious issue, then we'll bring in professionals who experience in getting down to it, interview them, gather the information. I'll recuse myself. I don't want to be the arbiter of truth, and then those experts who are experienced in handling those things.
You hear that?
They'll tell me how to handle it. If they
All
tell me to fire
Mr.
someone.
Beast's toilet seats can be peed on with no repercussions.
Oh my god. Also, thank you, Papa, for another for 5. If Jimmy pulled a poon, he would have started off with a detailed history of the internet and YouTube and how his channel must conquer all content. That's pretty good. That was pretty good. I like that. I like that. Oh man.
Someone, I fire them. If they tell me to whatever, I'll do it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the one who makes those decisions. So, and transparency, that's kind of
So so I think this is one where a lot of YouTubers, people who have covered this type of thing, don't really understand that HR is a real living and breathing organism in business, and if you don't maintain it, it can become a problem for a normal business.
No shit, Sherlock.
Someone like you whose reputation is on the line. I also have like a bunch of businesses. I've got 60 employees, and we have an HR department. And like something happens once a month where someone gets an anonymous report, and then we have to solve that problem, and then we actually
you're evil.
Yeah, and that's that's how it feels sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm not involved, obviously, in that stuff. And,
I hate how people
my
use
YouTube
HR as like it's some proof that nothing bad happens in your business.
Yeah, when just a rule of thumb, especially for any youngins watching, if you have a problem,
HR is proof that bad things happen to your business.
not only that, but if you do have issues at wherever you work, one, you document that shit, especially if it's on a business email, and then you make sure that you keep copies of it, and then tell HR, because spoiler alert, HR's not your fucking friend.
No,
HR is there to protect the business.
yeah, they will protect the
HR
business.
works for the company. It doesn't work for you, and it's not your friend. It's there to protect the business, and you always keep your own records, because when it comes to HR, they will lose all documentation that helps prove your case, but they will always have the documentation that proves their case.
But ironically, if you're having a problem at your business, you're probably better off talking to the company lawyer, because they'll be like, oh shit, I don't want like our company to get absolutely reamed in court over something.
And not only that, even if you do
Seriously, talk to legal. Yeah. Talk to your legal department. They're going to get shit done better and faster than HR would.
Yeah, and even if you do have your documentation and stuff like that, they never receive it, or it gets lost, or it went to spam folder because it got sent so many times and we just haven't found it. It's so many things.
Yeah.
Sparky sounds like he's speaking from experience, eh?
Yeah, I have.
Pepe Sylvia. We're looking for Pepe Sylvia here.
Okay.
side is very compartmentalized. So the way that I do that, it makes sense to me. I want to be as detached as much as possible from the day-to-day operations of like the actual business. You're saying you're running the company. Is there a world in which what is your job title? Is there a world in which you step back and you are just like not an actor necessarily, but you're the guy, you're Mr. Beast, and you let the business be operated by an entity to where you can stand beside it essentially instead of being at the head of it?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, it's my channel, it's my company, so I wouldn't take it that far. I think like the big thing is just bringing in people who have actually ran a company at this size before, because eventually I will be more educated and knowledgeable. Like every day, I'm learning more on like how to properly run a company with hundreds of people and better do it. But I'm still very ignorant. Like I probably crossed 100 employees like 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago, but it's still just growing. So like, because across everything, if you include Feastables and ViewStats, we have over 400 employees. So it's a learning thing. But that's the thing. While I'm learning, I need to bring in people who have been there and learn from them.
Yeah, because there's no replacement for just experience, right?
Exactly.
Like, you can be as smart as anybody, but if you haven't been able to go through the things you've gone through and like things just personally that I know that I've gone through and learned from business, it's not possible to know. It's not possible to know how to react to those things or. That's why I sort of try to do my best to compartmentalize my business.
No,
Obviously,
I don't know.
Different beast than what you're operating. But it's just it's just it's difficult and it does make sense. And you've used the word ignorant a couple times. I'd be interested to see how changes are made after this, which you've already made a lot of changes. Anonymous reporting is the.
I think. Didn't Oompraville get scammed by a friend?
Yes, we talked about this already.
Business. I'm sorry. I didn't see the beginning part. I was doing my stream, and I've been gone all day to.
You're fine.
No, you good, bro. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, we already covered that. He's a fucking
If I could
complete
be
moron.
smug right now, I would be right now because we were just covering that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I came into this like half caught. I don't know.
You're good. You're good. But yes, he was
So
scammed.
wait. So Sparky, what you're telling me is you're ignorant. You're ignorant, Sparky.
Not as much as you.
Damn. All right.
The biggest one for HR.
Yeah.
That's like been a
And it's like that's one of those things where like it's not like I was like, oh, we don't need. I just didn't know. Like I never seen the data they showed me, and like if any other people have this kind of stuff, like I'm always open to learning.
Of course, yeah. And I think the most important thing too is like at the end of the day, you've got the most to gain from all this.
Exactly.
Honestly.
I want my employees happy. I gain nothing out of them not being happy. Like it hurts me. It's like I have a monetarily incentivization to do this kind of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like the criticism of
I feel like this is a poor argument because he's basically saying, why would I not do all these things? I want my people to be happy.
He just said monetarily incentivization. I'm not sure what that word is.
Monetary incentivization.
You know, you could follow a role model that's done something like this. Not with the scale of what this is going on, and it's a piss poor model, I know. But Linus Tech Tips. Because he seems to get himself out of controversies pretty fucking easily.
Yeah, Linus has pretty often had the exact same problem.
Because when it comes up, it comes out. He ex-nays them, if I remember right. I can't remember what the name of that one guy. He used to be the Linux guy until, yeah.
The fat one?
Yeah.
So the
yeah,
problem
that-
with them is they went trans and they like if I remember correctly, they said some things that was like you don't want to be
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, and what happened?
Fuck
Did he
did
keep
they
him
say?
employed? Some things. Anyways, what happened? Yeah, no, he got ixnayed. He got file 14 very quickly. Not kept around.
Yeah, it was bad.
Damn, I guess even though Linus is a bit of a dumbass now, looking at some things with a finer comb, if he at least is yeeting out idiots, then hey, never mind. I like Linus a lot more now.
I'll put you like this. Linus has been into a lot of controversies and he's fucked up a lot. I'm not gonna let him get past that one. But when they come around, he works really quickly to deal with it and
He
not
stole
just.
a prototype and sold it and was claiming he didn't.
Yes, he
That's
did do
one
that.
of that's one of them. I'm still holding over his fucking head to this day.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he did that was absolutely abysmal.
Yeah,
It was
and
mind blowing.
I think that like he came out and said, by the way, this is something that just fell through the cracks, but that is not something you let fall through the cracks. People like can get sued for less than that.
Oh, whenever it first happened, I bashed him really hard on my channel. It's nothing on my channel, but still, I
holy
went at him
shit.
sideways for it.
You don't do that shit.
But besides from that, other things like with the other allegations that happened with his company, and then stuff with some of his employees, he's dealt with them really quickly, and that's what's kind of kept him out of heat. He didn't do what Mr. Beast did and go, that's whatever, and just continue on. Mr. Beast is just blackluster. He just allows things to happen, let it go. Oh, it's all kind of no big deal.
I have not
That's Mr.
seen
Beast's
the
problem.
Destiny leaks. I don't really want to see the word Destiny and butt plug in the same sentence, so let's not go there.
I just wanna comment because I haven't seen them either. Even though I'm pretty wired in. Are the leaks anything about some interesting conversations he had with young women?
Raging Bull, there's nothing all right with you saying that you're wired into the Destiny butt plug situation.
No, I said wired in. I didn't say to the butt plug situation, you little
Nah,
shit.
she's gotcha. She's
No,
gotcha.
God,
she
yeah.
doesn't. Rewind
Yeah, she
the
does.
tapes. I didn't say into the butt plug situation. I meant wired into drama.
You didn't say drama. You said wired into the. You said wired into the. Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Anyway, I need some glazed
Clip us,
donuts
clip it.
tomorrow.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
if it were me, I would say butt plugs can be very dramatic.
She's not wrong.
Anyway,
Let's continue. We're almost 30 minutes.
Entities like yours and even mine, with truth, obviously, and like logic, and there's a real basis, a rationale that makes sense, that's centered in reality.
Yeah.
I feel like that's super important because once again, you have so much to gain, and like you spend less, you make a little bit less money, but your employees are substantially happier and they feel safer or just more confident in you as their leader or their boss. So it's like it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how all this kind of goes from here after this point, especially.
Yeah.
This is a big moment.
I know. The interview, the day of the interview.
But that makes sense, though. I mean, and like I don't want to continuously interject my own business experience, but I think it does set me apart from other
Please
YouTubers
stop,
involved in this,
Oompa.
and
I would
having to
appreciate
My
it.
God, their
business
glazing is
experience.
horrible.
It's sort of the same
I do
thing. I
have
just
to
fell
go
into
start my own stream,
running actual
so I'll
businesses
talk to
and
you guys
having to be
later,
able-
but I am on a train this situation.
All right, sounds good. Have a good one, Ava.
bye.
But I mean, I think y'all can kind of see where I'm saying that, like, Oompa is not somebody to ever do, like, an interview like this.
No, I agree. Oompa should not be here.
Also, I would just like to point out, someone in chat said that, sorry, getting off topic, but Linus sent the prototype to a competitor. How the fuck did he not get legally in hot water for shit like that?
That's a
What
good
the
question.
fuck? That's corporate. That's essentially corporate
time out.
espionage, isn't it?
All right, the lowdown on that, and the simplest way I could put it is the developer sent it to Linus. Linus, they said that they screwed up and it fell through the cracks, all that good stuff. Whenever everything came out, and it was talked about, the maker didn't want any drama. They didn't want anything. They just wanted reimbursement for the prototype. They said that it'd take them a while, but they already had a prototype being remade before that situation even happened, and they just wanted to move on and continue on and not have any bad blood. So that's why that ended the way it did.
Developer,
That's
you're a
sad.
fucking cock. You're a cock.
Chat, make sure to
Go
like the stream.
You could have gotten
HR,
a lot of
like, what
money
the
out of
fuck?
that.
What?
The developer could have gotten a lot of money out of that. That's a huge case.
I agree.
Yeah.
That is millions.
Oh, gosh.
I DM'd them, and they actually responded to me, and that's pretty much the overall statement they told everyone. That's what they told the Gamers Nexus. They appreciate the coverage, they appreciate the sympathies, stuff like that. They just want to continue on doing what they were doing. They just didn't want any more bad blood.
Well, if they go under now because the competitors stole it and made a better and cheaper product and undersold them, well, that's on you now, buddy.
Oh, actually, no, they're doing really good right now. So
Good.
Good. All right.
Exactly.
I had no idea any of this stuff existed, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get fucked. Your mom was previously head of your HR department, and some people have criticized that as a conflict of interest. Did you personally, at the time, even consider that? And do you now also acknowledge that that is a conflict of interest?
Oh, I agree. That's a dumb thing to do.
Yeah.
I do think context matters though, because like this is where a lot of these things that I assume we're going to talk about is like people conflate current Mr. Beast with 400 employees and spending
Yes.
hundreds of millions of dollars a year with Mr. Beast when he's a teenager and starting. I mean, when I first started hiring people, it was like, oh, we went to high school together. You want to help me make videos? And I hired a couple of my friends for high school. And then I was like, how do I do taxes and this kind of stuff? And I was like, Mom, help. And so, I mean, I wouldn't say she's head of HR. I mean, she was, I guess, but she's also running finance. And, it's not like a real company. We just get in this like little $700 no, actually that one was $1,080 a month office I was renting. And I'd just be like to this one guy that I knew from high school, all right, today you're going to go paint this thing. Today, you, friend number 2, you're going to help me edit this. And you, friend number 3, you're going to go to the store and buy 1,000 chickens that like scream when you press down on them. And Mom, I don't know, just make sure the IRS doesn't sue me. Like that's the time frame we're talking about here. But yes, I agree. Like it's stupid. Like you definitely shouldn't have your mom as an HR person. You should just hire someone who was educated in HR, which is obviously what we have. We have an HR team now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think, and that's sort of like one of the weird things from just a business perspective. Once again, it's like someone becomes HR by default, even if you don't say, "Well, this is the HR person. This is our
I
contact."
mean, because like back then, it's like, I mean, you got a problem, just tell me. There's like 5 of us.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
But yes, but still, I'm like, in this, I'm not trying to like deflect everything. Like, I mean, yes, obviously you should hire an actual HR person. Agreed.
That's good advice.
Yes.
That's sound advice. I do agree with that.
Shocker.
Yeah, crazy. The no doesn't mean no policy
gosh,
that was
yeah.
criticized. That was crazy. I mean, when I first saw that, I was like, what the fuck?
What, you're answering for me? Let me
Okay,
answer.
hold on. It was criticized.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Especially by Soggy recently of having been taken out of context.
No doesn't mean
Can
no.
you explain
Oh boy.
what the no doesn't mean no policy
Yes.
was and why it was in the?
Yes. So yeah. So it's funny. Even the word like policy. It's like so when we started hiring more people, I wrote this little I almost like advice book just for a lot of employees because I wasn't able to talk with people as much as I was early on. And one part of it that people when this thing got leaked, and I wrote it with some other people in my company. It wasn't just me, but when this got leaked, there's a section that said no does not mean no, and then they just like cropped that out and they're like, look, this is proof Jimmy's immoral and evil. When obviously, like you were saying, if you read the context below, it makes sense. The gist of why we had a section that said no does not mean no is because we do. I don't know if anyone's ever seen our videos, crazy things that have never been done before, right? No one's ever on YouTube at least buried themselves alive for 7 days. No one like tries to dangle an obstacle course from cranes, and it's like. The problem I kept running into early on when I was hiring people is I'd be like, hey, I want to do
There's
this.
literally
And then
somebody being sued right now for doing a horror survival house for doing that exact thing.
Mhm.
I would also point out that, like, first off, some of the stuff he got big from it, but he actually isn't necessarily the first person to do it. And then some of the stuff, people didn't do it because it's considered a violation of the Geneva Conventions. Like when when he had somebody locked in a room for a week, or how long was it?
It was a week, or it was longer
It
than
actually
that.
caused that person psychological damage because you're not supposed to do that to people.
I think the problem that you're going to run into when it comes to that is technically the guy agreed to it, so...
No, I'm not saying the guy didn't agree to it. But I'm saying
Actually-
people didn't do that because it's immoral to do it.
Actually, I would also like to that actually brings up an interesting thing, which is going to get into the weeds. So I'm just saying this, and we don't need to commentate anymore. But I am intrigued because I don't think consent matters because the Geneva Convention supersedes many things. That's
I'm
just my
not.
two-
I'm not necessarily saying the Geneva.
I know.
Convention.
I'm just saying.
Also, if we really wanted to get into the weeds in that, the Geneva Conventions only applies during wartime.
Yes.
Well, you also have to be, a military that's recognized.
Yeah, it has to be a recognized military, and it has to be during wartime.
And I don't think Mr.
Well, I
Beast
mean,
is a
that-
recognized
that-
military.
Not yet.
Well, I mean, doesn't Mr. Beast have a child army that does everything he wants?
Oh God.
Yeah, but my point
Uh,
is, he's trying to be like, oh, this is we do this, and like it's just so cool that we do this, and it's like, well, other people didn't do it because it's immoral to do it. It's not because they didn't think about it. Tons of people have thought about it, but it's genuinely considered like a horrendous thing to do. Japan did it one time for one TV show, and it literally destroyed the guy's life.
Wait, is Zeki's castle?
No,
Zeki? No.
it was the guy that they locked in a room, and they had him try and
Takeshi.
coupon himself out of debt. Or yeah, they tried to have him coupon himself out of debt.
Oh! And what? Yeah, what it did happen to that guy? I never heard the aftermath.
He's not normal anymore.
Oh, his brain
Oh.
is broken. Okay.
Today I'm drafting 10,000 at children. Okay, chat, you can't say that in the chat. Chat, come on now.
Let's face it. It's something that Mr. Beast probably would do.
Let's continue.
Hi YouTube, and today I'm drafting 100,000 children.
Ugh. All right.
Yeah, but that's why those crazy Mr. Beast videos like got so popular, the horror ones.
Yeah.
It's not because he actually did any of that, but it's because some of the stuff you're like, this is stuff like we're doing new things. It's like it's very immoral, and you shouldn't be doing it.
It's like, holy crap, you're actually gonna do it.
The reason you get away with it is because your fans are all children. If your fans were like all adults, a lot of people would be like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Well, a
Hey,
lot of guys.
Akko, you want to be trapped in a tiny room for 3 days?
What are the conditions? I'm already trapped in a tiny room for 3 days when I'm not
Oh
working.
God.
True.
My room is
Well-
my cell.
Well,
Chat, press
I'll
1
put
if
it
you
like
can
this.
relate.
I'll put you like this: like, he got Mr. Beast got sued because of an idea for like a gladiator super pit and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there watching that. And it's like I distinctly remember watching back in the fucking '90s, American Gladiator. They so totally did that. So it's not a new revolutionary idea.
Yeah.
Rage knows there's no minimum wage for children. Oh no.
Look, a lot of your ideas aren't new and revolutionary, and the ones that are new and revolutionary weren't done because they're considered highly unethical. Like the Squid Game thing. That's literally it's Squid Game. It's a show. You copied it. And like we know that's the point, but you can't be like, "Oh, this is new and revolutionary" when it's not.
I don't know if he's talking about everything that he's done, but he could. I don't know.
I can't think of a single thing he's done that's not new and revolutionary. Like he talked about the buried alive thing. Okay, you're copying Chris Angel from like the 2000s.
God, that's a fucking touchstone. Holy shit. Yeah, I just remembered that.
Yeah, he's just copying Chris Angel. I don't know what he's talking about. Like, oh, this is super wild. Nobody's done this before. Yeah, Chris Angel did it.
Yeah.
It was his thing. It was part of what made him famous.
Okay. Let's move on.
They would go call someone. So like,
We're
let's say
almost
the
30
obstacle course in
minutes.
the sky, where we had like this obstacle courses that Mac did, held up by these cranes, weighed like 100,000 pounds or whatever. Like they would call crane companies and they'd be like, no, and then they'd be like, okay, hang up. And they come to me and they go, Jimmy, they said no, we can't do it. The video's not possible. And it's like, okay, well, of course they're gonna say no because everything we do has never been done before. But like, ask them why. And like obviously, if they don't be rude, but if they say no, just try to understand why, right? And a lot of times you'll have an instance where like,
hey,
well, we can't get all the cranes at one time because we're renting them out, and it's like, okay, perfect.
No,
We respect that. But can I offer something before you actually hard say no? What if we went to the 2 or 3 other clients that day that were renting the cranes? We paid them 5 times the amount of money they paid to rent those cranes to just rent them a week later, and let's just see. And then the company would usually be like, oh, you would do that? It's like, yeah, like we want to work with you to find a solution to make your problem our problem and solve it. And then like, then a hard no will 50% of the time turn into, oh, well, yeah, actually we can do it if you're willing to spend a little extra money or whatever. So that was me trying to educate my employees on that. And somehow, well, I don't know, I'm not even gonna say somehow, I know how. I mean, people who didn't care about the truth and just wanted to spread disinformation and manipulate the line of millions of people, which it worked, spun that into, I mean, I'm not even gonna state the obvious, but I mean, which made no sense because the context for it was literally written right below it. But I mean, that just shows the ill will intent of certain people.
Yeah, because no doesn't mean no. I mean, that is like, there's just a massive, heavy negative connotation with that, obviously, in the zeitgeist. So, yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense in a vacuum, or, with this context, it does make perfect sense, but you got to see, if I were to be like, yeah, this guy, Mr. Beast, he's getting canceled for all kinds of crazy shit, he has a no doesn't mean no policy. Anyways, like, that's crazy.
I know.
That's fucking
And you should
insane.
throw it on screen so your viewers can
so they can actually see
so you can see the context, because it clearly lays it out. So no one.
Pause. Oh my god. He is such a fucking idiot. Oh my god. So, okay. No doesn't mean no. Oh, we went to crane companies. They said, no, we're not going to do it because of safety reasons.
No, that's not what he said. He said they said no because they already have rented out their stuff to other people. He didn't mention safety reasons.
Oh, I misheard that one point. That's the reason why I was saying that.
No, he didn't say because of safety reasons.
Well, what about, doing something because it's never been done before?
My issue with the no does not mean no policy is it puts his employees in the position, and it even says it in the policy, like I don't know why they didn't bring this up, that if an employee ever comes back to him and says they said they won't do it, he's just going to force them to go back out until they get a yes answer, which is not good.
Mm-hmm.
That's putting your employees in a really shitty position that you as the owner should be handling.
Mm-hmm.
He said both. I could
just
be wrong.
gonna get annoyed.
But yeah, if it was because they refused something,
I also
let's throw money at it. Oh yeah, no doesn't mean no unless you give a shit ton of fucking money to it.
I would also point out, because I don't know how many of you actually like read the policy, but one of the specific examples given like sort of in the policy was that if you go to like a grocery store and you're trying to get them to do like one of those buyout spending spree things he's done before, and the employee or the manager tells you no, that you're supposed to just continually pester different employees until you get a yes answer. And it's like you're kind of mandating your employees to go out and harass people. That's what this reads like.
Uh-huh.
I guess I could see that, but also okay. Not an exact 1-to-1, but so it's kind of like, at least at my work, Bob says no to this, and then I just turn around and then talk to Tiffany and then tell the pitch to Tiffany, and Tiffany just goes yes. It's like, Well, Bob had said no, so what do I do about that? Oh, well, just tell him that I said yes and I overruled. You know what I mean? So it's asking dad and then mom is what it kind of sounds like to me that you can justify it.
It still doesn't make it right.
I can't agree with that because I've been in customer service positions, and this is just like putting customer service workers in really shitty positions in order to try and get your special video.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Not
like,
only that,
from
you
your
can get 'em
position,
fired.
it's shit. I'm just saying I'm a little bastard. I'm a bastard.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to get a employee fired.
Yeah.
And it's just also putting the your own employees in a shitty position where they're just supposed to sit here and continuously harass people until they get a yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care how like nice you want to make your HR sound. If your boss tells you you better go out and get me a yes, it's gonna stress you the fuck out and make you think you're gonna get fired if you don't get a yes.
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 Let's continue on.
No one actually saw that and thought what these channels were implying.
Yeah.
They just willfully were ignorant so they could get 1 out of 10s and make some
We're
money.
a fifth of the way through it, chat.
Now on to sort of content production and the question of authenticity behind the content that you make. There have been claims that you use some CGI in your videos. That is computer.
Oh, this is gonna be so boring.
Oh my
Do you think the
fucking
use
God.
of
Are we
CGI
seriously-
can under?
Yes. Yes.
Why is
There are
Milk
allegations some of
question?
your videos might be edited for YouTube.
All right, no, is there a chapter button on this fucking video?
No, there is
Fucking
not.
kill me.
This is so. All right, have they gone into any of the hard pressing questions?
No.
Oh, he's not going to.
Fuck
Yeah.
you, Oompaville.
Like the hardest one we've gotten is the Chris Tyson thing, and he's like, "Well, that was an independent investigation. They cleared us, so we're clear."
So a non-answer. Fuck
Yeah.
you, Oompaville.
Yup. Oompaville is a bitch.
He's
Alright.
just like, this is not the person to go to for this. And he went to Oompaville because he knew like he's gonna give him softball. Like it's the same guy that came away from talking with that vegan teacher and was like, you know what, guys, she's actually a nice lady and you should give her a chance.
Here's my whole issue with this whole fucking deal, because you can look at this as a third removed from another source or a person. So you have Keemstar that's out there that's been going really hard and heavy at trying to defend Mr. Beast. Looking at information and calling it as it is, I will admit that one, Keemstar's doing a really good job at that. But the problem is he's also too close to it. The problem I have with that is Keemstar is really good and acquainted with fucking Mutahar. Who is Mutahar acquainted with? Oompaville is Mutahar's fucking co-host.
Mhm.
Why in the fuck should we give him any fucking attention for this?
Precisely. Also, BRB, I'm gonna go get a beer since I see where this is going.
Also,
Alright.
I'll go see what you're doing. I have never been able to get the candles to change direction.
You can. Maybe. I don't know. No, never mind. It's world axes. That sucks.
undermine the
Yeah, I don't
credibility
like
or
it.
authenticity of the content that you're making? And if so, why do you choose to use it?
Good question. And yes, I do think rampant use of CGI can undermine it. And I try to do my best to be transparent. Did you ever see So Crispy's video where they show the behind the scenes of our Squid Game video?
I did, yes.
Yeah, so we've done that. We've done lots of BTS
Why is
videos
this
on
a
them. We've
hard
done other BTS
question?
videos. So I try to show it transparently, but let me think about it. I mean, honestly,
Here's the problem.
This is such a non-question to start with, and then he's like, "Good question. We do also believe that CGI can hurt it." And
Here's the
Why is
problem.
this a hard question? It was already a non-question.
Because Dogpack made it a question that he had. Here's the problem I have with Dogpack is he forced this to be an important question, and that's why I hate it. It's like, no, fuck, he uses CGI. Do you all really think that he like did a whole but all of the explosion
No, that's what I'm
effects?
saying. Like, it doesn't matter that Dogpack brought it up. The fact that he can't give a good answer is fucking weird. Like, he's already trying to skirt around just saying, yeah, we use CGI sometimes. I don't understand. Like, when you have a non-question like that, that's the answer. Yeah, we do use CGI sometimes. It doesn't matter. But he can't do that, which makes it weird. He's making it super awkward when there's no reason for it to be.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's I don't know.
honestly, the truth is, like, can you? Obviously, there are channels like Corridor Digital and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but can you really think of any like entertainment channels like mine that really do this, like even have the budgets to kind of do this kind of stuff. It's something I've always thought a lot about, because like we're really pushing boundaries, and like I want to like keep leveling.
See
things
what
up,
I
and
mean?
think
He
that's a cool
just
way to do
can't
it.
just say, yeah, sometimes we use CGI. It's so weird that he can't just say that. That almost makes me feel like he wants to lie about it for some reason.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But it's not like there's some like playbook on how to like incorporate it, right? Because no one else really does it. Like something I was thinking about is like also we rarely use it. Like I mean maybe like
Who cares?
There we go. That's all you had to say. We rarely use CGI. Thank you. That's it. That's all you need to say.
Oh fuck.
Like if we have like a background that like doesn't look too cool, like it's just like black but it looks a little off, we'll just like darken it out in post. Like that's like majority of what we do, or sometimes we'll extend a set. But I was thinking like when we do, because we pour millions of dollars into these videos, we build massive sets, like we go through so much links to make these huge videos, and the last thing I want is people to be like questioning whether or not things are CGI. I mean, like the sets we build are fucking crazy, man. Like it's wild. Like you should come see the like behind the scenes of it. I mean, sometimes we spend 100 days just literally building one room for one shot of one video.
That's insane.
So yeah, I was thinking like maybe just potentially, I don't know, this is the first time I'm saying it publicly, like time stamping in the description when we do.
That's interesting.
Yeah, or like having some like gimmicky thing where like whenever we do, we like put like a little beast logo on it, so it's like a thing that if people wanted to identify, they could. I mean, I'm down to figure something out. I mean, we just don't really use it that much. It's just like a thing few and far between. But what I really don't want is people to not be able to trust my videos just because occasionally I want to make a wall blacker, or like I want to extend a set a little bit just to make it look cooler, and like you feel in tune with it. Because what we do on its own is insane. You know what I mean? Like we don't need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to be fair too, I totally get what you're saying, and like the logic for the CGI call doesn't really make a lot of sense to me personally. To me, maybe it would undermine the credibility if you're like changing things genuinely, or like you have an outcome that's the thumbnail and you're only getting it by manipulating. But like there are times in my videos where my head is bigger than my head in real life because my editors make it bigger. That's CGI, right?
Yeah.
The words, the subtitles in your video, they're not real. That's CGI technically.
True. Yeah.
So it's like there's just it's just that one's like a really sort of.
I don't think that qualifies. That's what I'm saying. Is this is getting really weird. Like this should have been an easy question, and they're really hard fighting to not just answer it and come up with excuses for what counts as CGI and what doesn't.
And it's like that's the problem. It's like, bro, if this is so hard for you to answer, insert name. Thank you for the 2. Mr. Beast sounds like Kamala. He does. Oh, it pisses me off so much. He does.
Like it's so weird that he can't just answer this question. And he's like, well, the words on screen, those are CGI. Like, no, not really. The closed captioning is not CGI. What the fuck are you on about? Genuinely. Mizu
tends to forget Mr. Beast's audience are autistic about the CGI question, especially after Dogpack made it. No, that is part of the problem, is that they are all autistic about it because of the fucking Dogpack video. And that's the problem, is these are questions that are having to be asked because the people that care are asking them, and that's what sucks.
Yeah, and in today's day and age, CGI, you gotta be really specific. Like back in the 90s, I mean, using it like for back in the 90s, it's like stuff you see in Jurassic Park and Terminator 2, all that. It goes now is like, if you really want to be real low down on what CGI is, Photoshop. There you go.
Yeah.
It's like, there's so many ways that you can warm around this. I think the question needs to be, have you put any special effects in your videos?
No. Again, this is one of those things I think isn't even a question. It doesn't matter if some of his fans are super autistic about it or not.
I mean, if you're gonna ask this question, I think this is I don't think that's a non-question. End of the day, I don't even think it should be being asked in this. But if you're going to ask it, that's the way I would have done it.
Mm-hmm.
What have I missed so far?
Mr. Beast, for some reason, can't just answer if he uses CGI or not. It's a non-question that doesn't matter, and he can't just answer it.
As someone in chat pointed out, Kamala Harris mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Like I said, he literally got PR coaching from the Hillary Clinton person who I think also may have been involved with Kamala. So I'm just saying, I think this PR guy needs to be fired, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, three
And-
3 for 3, and they all sound like robots.
If I had to
Yeah.
think about it, all I can think of is that South Park episode where it's Trump versus Hillary. And Mr. Garrison gets up and literally says, "Look, I'm shit. I'm not cut out to be president. You need to vote for her." And then she, in full like PR mode, goes, "My opponent is a liar and a cheat, and you shouldn't believe a word he says."
Yes.
And
Yes.
and I want to put this out real quick because of some pushback I got from the whole Mudaha Kimswa connection. I mean, it's like, look, guys, you think just because they stopped some on their podcast, they'd stop talking? You're nuts, okay? Mudaha taught to Mama Max for years and considered him a close friend and acquaintance, and they didn't do videos together. They still talk in the back.
Don't get in the weeds on this.
No, I don't want to get into these on this.
You go way too off topic.
No weeds. No weeds. Hey, you do too, Mizu. Fuck you. But anyway,
Yeah, I was
continue.
about to say, everyone here has.
No, I mean this is about like a completely separate topic. It's nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue, please.
A slippery slope. But I think that's a good idea. If you were to put timestamps, or if you sort of are transparent about AI generative content, that's something that you could do as the biggest content creator in the world to be even more ethical.
Okay, wait, where
than
did
is
AI
really
come
necessary.
from?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think they're talking about like saying where they include AI or some shit.
I'm glad I grabbed another beer for this. Holy fuck, I'm double shotgunning this at this rate. Fuck this.
Insert
But
name.
yeah,
Thank
this
you
is what I'm
for.
talking about. Like, this is not even a question in my opinion, and it's weird that he can't answer it, and they're like workshopping so hard on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Insert. Thank you for another 2. Kamala should have gone to Oompa instead of Joe. Damn.
The only thing is then, which I'm down. Like I want to keep brainstorming these things out. It's just like you said, like I in my head I didn't even think of text on the bottom as CGI, and like everyone might have a little different definition of it. So I just want to make sure like what I would classify as it. Like, and so, but agree. There's some solution here, or just stop using it. Like it doesn't even matter. Okay, I mean. We build crazy sets. It's usually just to make them look 1% cooler.
You can
so,
figure it out.
Yeah. So there is some answer here. Like that's not a thing that scares me. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. I think people would appreciate the transparency on that as well. Like,
No.
because
Most
reality
people don't
television,
give a
television,
shit.
It's all extremely manipulated. And that's like the
90%
basis
don't
of it.
care.
So
No
if you
one
were to
gives
sort
a
of go
fuck.
above and beyond even the worst, whatever competitors that you don't even really have on YouTube and put like a beast logo or timestamps, I personally think that would be kind of cool.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that'd be sort
My
of.
fucking god, Oompa, shut
There was an
the fuck
allegation
up.
that you used CGI to create the impression that you guys built a hospital, part of a hospital, in order to deceive viewers or manipulate them into believing that you did
They're
more
still
than you actually
going
did.
on?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. Honestly, truthful, dumb mistake. At the start of one of our Beast Philanthropy videos, they were trying to show what this like building looked like in the past, and in the past that hospital wasn't there, so they removed it in the editing. Which and this was just like a small part of it. This isn't even like the point of the video wasn't that we built this hospital or whatever. There was just a shot at the beginning, but some people saw that and like thought we did build it, which is not the intention, and so it's just a dumb mistake. Like
They're
trust me,
idiots
when I saw that, I
then.
was-
Why are
Why do you care? It's just like it's all like.
I don't know. I'm admittedly kind of iffy on that. If you're gonna make this video, like this is what the area was like before us, and you Photoshop out buildings, and then that actually does kind of look like you're trying to convince people you built this area up more than you did.
I'm gonna be 100 with you, Mizu. I couldn't give a fuck, and I have no understanding of this thing because I have not seen that video or shit. But to me, I'm gonna tell you real honestly what this is. This is just dragging out for fucking watch time at this rate. He's trying to pull a Joe Rogan, but yet he's asking and chewing the fat on the most inane of fucking questions just for that sweet watch
Hey.
time.
Akko.
Mm.
So there's a comment in this video from Rainstorms. They have timestamped.
I don't.
Oh my
everything.
god.
I am
Yes.
not. I am not skipping past this. There could be shit that would be important to listen to. I don't want to skip past. Listen, this is my stream. I ain't skipping past this.
Oh my god!
You don't
I'm
listen
just
if you don't want
saying.
to. If you don't want to
I'm
listen,
just
that's
saying-
fine.
I'm just saying.
No, I don't want to skip past this shit. This is all like, it's all useful to me. So
Chat $200 and then Akko will skip past
No.
when you edit your request.
absolutely not.
$200 per skip.
$200 per skip. Yeah, let's go.
You guys are like throwing money amounts on in behalf of me, and I didn't say yes to this. I'll just listen. The people are gonna pay that much money, and then they're not gonna get what they want, and then you guys are gonna have to eat the charge back.
Anyways,
I talked to the editors. I was like, "Come on, like, you know, I have 100 editors, and obviously we have a bunch of different channels and things like that. So it's hard for me to like speak with all of them. But it was just I
wish I could afford one editor.
Mistake. We never said we built that hospital or anything. But I could see how some people might perceive that we were trying to like give off that we were. And it's a little unfortunate because Beast Philanthropy, my YouTube channel, how do I say this? Or it's like I'm not trying to like. Is literally owned by a 501c3. Like, it's a YouTube channel that is a nonprofit, which is crazy. Like, as far as I know, that's the only one. And Beast Philanthropy does so much good. And like,
I don't think that's the only one.
You know what? The only reason people, this is what's funny, because like to the people like trying to call me evil and say we fake philanthropy, the only reason anyone even knows any of this is because we actually did a behind the scenes video on that video. So like, clearly I wasn't aware of this because we did BTS and we were the ones who revealed this information. You know what I mean? So like, if we were trying to hide things, like we wouldn't have done BTS on that video. That's how people got this information. So it's just like a little mistake, but it's sad because now people are using that to point at our Beast Philanthropy channel, which does a lot. I mean, we'll just scroll through the videos. I mean, whether we're building schools in Africa or, I mean, and giving electricity to remote villages, or we're giving clothes to people who don't have it, or we're feeding people. I mean, it does a lot of really good projects. Now, truthfully, that channel is struggling to get brand deals because of all the slander on it, because everyone, you know, has convinced advertisers that the videos are fake and that it doesn't actually do philanthropy. And it's like, it does. And just like one little editing mistake on one of dozens of videos. Like, I mean, it's unfortunate because it's actually having a pretty severe impact on the charity and its image. And like, I don't know, just unfortunate.
And you think the impact is not obviously just the CGI hospital edit, but just the entire situation in general?
No, I mean, of course, the entire general situation, but no, after that hospital thing, a lot of people made videos saying Beast Philanthropy is fake and we fake our philanthropy, and specifically attacking it. And then, you know, like that whole 100% of the revenue on the charity, on the channel is what we use to fund the charity. And that like spooked off a lot of people because they're like, oh, so this charity is not authentic. Because like, obviously people don't want to work with a charity that's not legit, which Beast Philanthropy is as legit as it gets. Just one little editing mistake, which now I'm sounding like I'm downplaying. I mean, it was just a mistake in editing. Doesn't discredit all the projects Beast Philanthropy has done around the world, the tens of thousands.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's not just that he's going around in circles. It's that he'll say that something isn't an issue, and then he'll spend 20 minutes trying to explain to you why, like, it's okay that he did it. It's like, you gotta just let it go.
Kamala defense. Jesus, fuck.
Here's exactly what I heard. Oh, people noticed it because there's an editing mistake. Oh, I'm sorry, that's our fault. We should have done editing better. So you wouldn't have caught it.
I mean, that's one way to view it.
Also, I'm not 100% sure I believe that the internet has convinced a bunch of large reputable companies that Mr. Beast's brand doesn't do real charity. I'll believe that they might not want to sponsor it because of the controversy. I don't believe that a couple of random internet videos by Dogpack has convinced reputable companies that Mr. Beast's entire channel is fake. There's a difference between the controversy has caused sponsors to pull out and the sponsors think the channel is a fraud. Yeah, very big different claims.
Very big.
And I think he's saying that because if he can, like,
he's
from a legal
victim.
Well, no, from like a legal perspective, he actually does have a legal standing if the companies believe he's defrauding people.
Yeah.
If Dogpack has convinced companies that he has defrauded people, he actually can sue him for that. He can't sue him just for the controversy.
I was going to say, I'm going to be real with you, Chief. Let me just give my schizo gamble. In the near future, you're going to see Beast suing Dogpack, and this is building the foundation for said case.
Well, that question does come up later. He is asked, "Are you going to sue Dogpack?" Later in this.
Oh yeah, like regardless of what he says, I'm 100% confident there is going to be a suit.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Changed, and I mean, yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I would say that's a fair admission too, because it's like, you know, and once again, optically, you're the guy who's talking about, you know, spending 26 hours a day looking at data and every decision, every single frame that's in a video is like combed over, and then that is a mistake, obviously, that you're capable of making, your team is capable of making, and like the whole thing is capable of making, and people, they'll compare and contrast whether they know or not. Like they think everything you're doing is 110% deliberate.
Yeah, well, that's the unfortunate part, because like if someone, again, just to be clear, the only reason anyone even knows is because we did BTS. So I mean, but if that would have happened, 8 months ago, I would have just responded to a tweet saying my bad and just like re-edited it in YouTube Editor and just added a voiceover, and it would have been fine. It's just now that due to the circumstances, everyone's like, we finally got the proof. The philanthropy's fake. He's fake, and like let's tear it out as charity. And yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's just a silly editing mistake. Like obviously the VO we should just had VO over that clip.
Holy fuck, he goes harder than I do.
It's also not even the whole point of the video. It's just like if you watch it, it's just a clip at the start. It's literally
and I thought you were autistic when
So you mentioned the behind-the-scenes
over-explain and
footage of
don't
that,
shut up.
specifically the hospital video in regard to your Philanthropy channel. Would you be willing to or consider releasing like more detailed behind-the-scenes footage or a breakdown of that with the VO you're talking about? Or the editors who worked on it and sort of their thoughts and opinions or whatever, because they're the ones working on it, right? Like
on that video specifically.
Yeah, or just in general.
Yeah, well, that one specifically. I mean, we're owning up to it. I mean, I don't want to put them on blast publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a silly little mistake. Obviously, we talked about how we could prevent it in the future, but I'm sure, shocker, at some point we're gonna have some other editing mishap over. Yeah. So I mean, that's not something I can't guarantee will ever happen again,
Mm-hmm.
but like we're doing our best to make sure it doesn't. But in general, I would love to do more behind the scenes. Like I think throughout all this, I think what is causing some of this is like confusion is because there is so much mystery around how we do our videos, because people don't know how we do it. It's like it's almost easier to believe there is this like they're fake or this, they're rigged, and he didn't actually build a bunker and put it underground and have 2 people live in it for 100 days and record the entire time and do all this. It's almost getting to the point where it's easier to believe it's not real. And I think like just having more transparency.
Oh no, everybody believed the bunker happened.
Help.
You were.
I've been wanting to do that for a little bit.
Dear fucking God.
The bunker is part of the controversy. I don't know why you'd want to admit that happened.
Yeah. What the fuck? Akko, I take back every snarky comment I've ever said in private about you yapping too much. Holy fuck.
Oh, I appreciate that. Now I'm gonna hold that over your head in the future. Ooh, who built that?
But yeah,
house
there are
up?
people
I
way
mean,
worse than
I
Akko
retract
that are
that.
major YouTubers.
I think this is Dama's house.
I retract what I originally said. Never mind. Anyways. But yeah, fuck me. Dude.
I don't want to. Thank you.
It's just truthfully, I just got to build the team. I was we're looking into getting some
No, I
editors
mean,
and
like,
a person dedicated for doing
just
it.
keeps
like,
going.
We have to like intentionally film those shots.
Right.
A lot of
It keeps
like,
going.
so we're like building out the team. It's just like it just takes time. Like you need someone who will make the thumbnails for it, and like I also don't want there to be editing mistakes in this. So I need someone who's doing QC, and that's like a really important thing because I don't want them to post it and make a claim in the BTS that's not true and say, hey, we spent $500,000 on this bunker. And it was actually 480,000, right?
Yeah.
Which is these are the little kinds of things that because I have such a large company, people will do, and they think it's innocent, but it's like no, like but at the end of the day, it's my name on it, and so it's like in theory it seems simple, like oh, you're already filming, just throw up BTS, but there's a whole big process in it to make sure that's also true and authentic and good and actually edited well, and so I mean I don't know when I'll be able to build out the team and get it right, but I think that will help a lot if people knew like the effort and work that went into the videos and like just how we do it. I think they would look at it differently and be like, oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, and I think to circle back a little bit, I don't think even showing the in behind the scenes, like if that were to have existed specifically with like the philanthropy stuff, or another time where you're adding CGI or whatever, if you had the intention of the people who are doing it in that behind the scenes footage, it wouldn't be necessarily even putting them on blast or showing any mistake you would have from the very beginning, transparency.
Yeah.
So I think that would be. I mean,
I'm on
awesome.
the same page here. Hey, if anyone watching this wants to help work on my BTS channel, I'm actually serious. We're actively hiring and trying to figure it out. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I really think that would help a bunch.
Oh,
like,
job
yeah.
opportunity.
plus, I just want to show people how we
chat.
do this stuff. Like, it's pretty crazy the stuff we're doing now.
I mean, realistically, it sounds like some of these problems, if like there was just sort of, you have the opportunity now to just be like super ethical and hire a couple more teams for transparency and do something that not only the 300 million subscriber YouTuber, but like you are leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else in terms of like transparency.
Yeah.
Which people really like.
How
that.
is he leaps and bounds ahead? How it got to the point where fake shit was being used against him. So now you just talked about why he didn't.
We investigated ourselves and we found nothing wrong. Here are these reports after the
Holy
fact.
fuck, Oopa, what the hell?
I'm fucking.
I think it's funny. Hey, yeah, let me go ahead and show this out. I'm looking for help. Oompa, do you know of anyone that might want to join in?
Jesus Christ.
This is all around glazing.
Yeah, this is literally just not even a circle jerk, just a friendly hand DJ done by two really friendly folks to each other in public. Good fucking God.
All right, continue.
Type of stuff. Even if they don't
agree.
like search out for it, they just like to see someone who's honest and relatable.
I agree.
And like you guys are really good at this insane Mr. Beast thing, but
Relatable.
like you said, even with sort of talking about the allegations in the beginning,
So
you didn't want to make a video where you're just
relatable.
sitting. It just feels cringe and awkward.
oh, no.
Like but it makes sense, right? Like I get your perspective and the outsider's perspective. It's cool to see, how it's not cool to see how angry people can get, but it is cool to see that there is a possible answer to those situations, like being super ethical and transparent in a way that nobody else has ever been before.
Oh, fuck
I
ethics.
feel like you could probably do that. So there's evidence that you
Oh,
put
yeah, so
your previous
fucking
employees, friends,
ethical.
whatever,
Oh.
controlled opposition
Oh, God.
in your challenge video, such as the 100 boys versus 100 girls video.
Yeah.
Did you put them in that video or videos like that specifically to rig the outcome
Of the challenge.
of the challenge? And if so, do you think that's acceptable, Mr. Beast?
I know. That one was a big one. Videos talking about my 100 boys versus 100 girls video in the last couple months. That one, people really talked about that one. So yes, Sagi's video, he talked about this and uncovered it. I'm surprised more people didn't. Like my girlfriend after that video literally went on a podcast and described this. So it's not even like this was hidden information. This has been out there.
You were in the video 100 girls versus 100 boys for $500,000.
Yes. On the day, everybody had to go for COVID tests, and a lot of people came, got their COVID tests, and they tested positive.
Is
And
she
the girls
fucking
somehow ended up
Australian?
with way too
Wait,
many
wait.
contestants. So I
Wait.
got a call
I want to hear it.
randomly
wind it
from the
back,
studio,
man,
and they're
sorry.
like, "We need a female." I'm like, "Well, I am a female. I guess I could do this 100-hour challenge."
Were
yeah.
you dating at the time?
Yes.
And did the others know you were dating Mr. Beast at the time?
They pretended that they didn't, but I think some of them caught on.
Did he like move to the side of the circle and check up on
He
you?
avoided eye contact at all costs.
But I mean, literally, like she said on the podcast, we had 100 boys, 100 girls. They're competing in a video. Leading up to the video, they're supposed to quarantine. This was years ago when, at the height of COVID. A lot of questions people have about my videos, like that in these recent things I've noticed, usually the answer is like COVID, like why things aren't as like we would normally do it. But in this instance, they quarantined. When they showed up to the studio, a couple people on both sides tested positive for COVID. We didn't have them all in a group. We, isolated, tested. And so now I'm stuck with a tough decision because we have all these people who just took off work for a week and took even more days off work to film this video. A couple people on each side of the 100 girls, 100 boys tested positive for COVID. I can't go grab random people off the street because they haven't quarantined, right? And back then, I think COVID tests are better now, but back then, it took like 2 days for the COVID test to be able to pick up whether or not you had COVID. Something like that. Not a doctor. This isn't Joe Rogan. I obviously... no one knows that though, right? I could have just gone and grabbed random people off the street and it would have been fine. But I was trying to like be protective of the contestants. So my employees were routinely quarantining back then because, in the studio and things like that, we didn't want an outbreak. So I just went to the employees who weren't working on the 100 girls versus 100 boys video and was like, hey, I don't want to cancel this video. Who wants to be in it? And so a couple of them volunteered, filled in the empty gaps. My girlfriend quarantined with me, so I threw her in there. And then we got the numbers up. I was good, the video's on. And yeah, they were competing for money like everyone else. Transparency, I'll look at the camera. No, they were not there to rig it. I did not tell them what to get out. I did not tell them what to do. They had their own free will. And I really didn't think too much of it. And, here we are a couple years later, and that's turning into proof that I've put employees in videos to rig them and script them, and they're just filling in for some people who got COVID.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
my
it's,
gosh,
it's
that is
another
such a pity party response.
That is also not responding to the question at all. Because the question is, did you rig it? And he's like, well, my girlfriend was in it. Well, that's not the question.
Regardless or not, and especially when you're doing context, there's a reason why like casinos and certain shows and stuff like that, they put out disclaimers of, if you're related or to someone who works for this or is hosting this or anything like this, you can't participate. Why? Because of legal you can't do it. You can't fucking do it. So regardless or not if it was rigged or not, you still can't fucking do it.
Well, I guess my big complaint is just this isn't answering the question at
Yeah.
all. The accusation was it was rigged. And it's like, well, my girlfriend was in it. Well, that's not the accusation. The accusation was it was rigged. And there were a lot of other accusations about how you rigged it in favor of the girls. And the fact that your girlfriend ended up on the girls' team makes it an even bigger problem when the accusation is that you are rigging it.
Now, was this the prize went to
The prize went to boys.
One side or the other side?
It was one
Boy,
side or the other, and boys won, if I remember correctly. That was the video I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which, not surprising, just saying. But anyway, it's still like did what he do, was it illegal? No, it's not illegal.
Actually, there's
Probably
a heavy possibility it is illegal.
No, I've seen not only videos, but I know that when it comes to essentially TV stuff, it's not there's a thing, and we would be getting into the weeds.
Was there a cash prize?
There was cash prize, but that's irrelevant.
No, it is very relevant.
story.
U.S. has very heavy sweepstakes laws.
Yes, they do.
Yes, if you actually are doing a sweepstakes.
It works
Just
for
TV.
competition as well. It's called
Survival?
sweepstakes and competition.
Survival.
Yes. Survival is because it is a TV show and it is in all of their contracts.
Yeah.
It is not considered there's a difference between a sweepstakes and a television show. Mr.
Yes.
Beast
And I'm saying
would
that
fall
you
under
can-
sweepstakes.
No, because I'm trying to say that you can say something is X on TV show, but in reality, it's not.
Yeah, you can say that because that's the TV show telling the audience.
Yes.
Mr.
So-
Beast told this to the contestants. You can't tell it to the contestants. That's where the crime comes in. No, I'm very up to date on these laws. You cannot tell it that way to the contestants. You can tell it that way to the audience that is not participating.
Hang on.
I wish we didn't lose
Yes.
the lolly.
To the contestants who, going in, you tell them, hey, this is a TV show, this is the script, yeah. But then on TV, you say something else. See what I'm trying to say?
I do,
That's
see,
it.
but I don't think you understand. The accusation came from the contestants. They were not disclosed this information.
I was gonna say, yeah, legal mindset already covered this. It is.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to say. This one's pretty cut and dry. This isn't Survivor. Like, they didn't have all of these random people he brought in up to date on contracts like they do.
Okay. So again, I just was saying what I knew. I didn't know that. So all right, fair enough.
Is it bad I missed the lolly elf? Yes. It's not bad.
But yeah,
Oh,
like
no shit. It's
like
almost
Spark said, other
Greg
people have
knows
covered
shit,
this.
and we're just talking out of our fucking ass.
I know stuff.
Yeah, you know some stuff. It's okay. We keep you around for your cuteness, not your brains.
No, legal has
that's-
always been like my area of expertise. Like, you need to have Ava. Most of the time, we're about right bang on.
I was gonna say, yeah, this is one time I agree with Mizu on this one. So
Legal's always been like my big interest point.
That makes
All right.
sense. You should have been a lawyer as well.
Please no.
I had a lot of issues in my transition period between high school and college, which basically meant I didn't get a higher education.
oh god,
I'm sorry. That was just too funny to not snicker at.
Anyway, let's continue.
Situation in which it's like, sure,
We're
there's-
almost an hour in
there's-
chat.
There's evidence or whatever of both or whatever. It's like a trust me bro versus a trust me
But
bro.
this one's not even a trust me, bro. Like, I mean, my girlfriend literally years ago said on a podcast all of this, so it's not even like I'm retroactively making this up. I mean,
Right.
I could probably go pull up COVID tests and
Yeah.
show you. I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of like the interpretation of what people have for that specific event. Like when someone like you or someone with this big thing, people just see who they don't care. They see, oh, he's using his friends. Like, obviously it's fucking rigged, But they're not gonna look into it. It's just optically, Like, there's so many things that it's really easy. Like, there's like such a crazy slippery slope for a lot of this stuff.
Well, and it's like the thing is, I mean, I could have been like, oh, people got COVID and canceled it, and then we'd be sitting here talking about how I had these people quarantined for 7 days, and then I just rug pulled them. You know what I mean? And so like, it's a little bit of damned if you, damned if you don't. Like either way, I'd be sitting here talking to you about it. So I just tried to take the most ethical, moral stance and prioritize health. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I
think
mean,
that's fair.
hopefully now that people hear the truth, they agree as well. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just it's been brutal hearing that misinformation be spread.
Do you agree, any of you?
No, he hasn't even answered the question properly.
Not. a
He's like, well, my
single answer to
girlfriend
the
disclosed later that she was on in a podcast. The contestants didn't even know at the time. It's like, that's not disclosure. you are now disclosing that you never disclosed anything.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And
With how slow and brain soupy this fucking interview's being, I'm pretty sure 90% of people aren't going to even catch that. We're probably like one of very few that have caught this.
I'll put it like this. I'm looking for the comments, and there's people's rage quit after like an hour. It's like an hour, 7 minutes. Whatever happened, they rage quit in it. So
An hour and 7 minutes. Interesting.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
How far are we?
What-
And are we close to whatever
an
comes
hour-
first?
49 minutes.
Yeah, like an hour to hour and 10.
We're in 49 minutes in.
So something at an hour and 10 minutes pissed people off.
Yeah,
I am
well, from
around
hour
there.
to hour, 10 minutes.
All right.
I'm curious.
I'm very
Same.
curious. Chat. Let's go. Let's power through this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't imagine that, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of people who really do not like you at all.
Yeah.
How does it feel in real life? Do you feel it in real life
I
at all,
don't
or is it
care
just
about that.
No, it's just the internet. We talked a little bit before this. I mean, also, it's late at night. I just flew here to do this. This is a very impromptu thing.
Yeah.
But for like the 10 minutes we were talking before we started recording, I was telling him, like, no one in real life has any idea of any of this. Like, I meet hundreds of people, and they're all just like, yo, what's up, Mr. Beast? They never bring it up.
Yeah.
And then you would open up Reddit. I mean, it doesn't help that they're censoring positive posts, but and you would think, well, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, that does make sense. You would think everyone hates me because anyone who does it, their post gets deleted. So actually, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's like, and even some of the YouTubers that I know, like you mentioned sending a clip to YouTubers, and they're like, well, it's just not cool. I don't want to be seen as a Mr. Beast glazer. I mean, even the sort of feelings amongst YouTubers,
Good
the
thing
people
you
who
don't have
their
that
responsibility
feeling,
is to
Oompa.
responsibility, very loose use of the term, to talk about anything online or whatever. You know, even they're afraid, or they just don't want, like. So it's just the internet. There's this really weird, you know, like sort of echo chamber. Not that obviously everything that you've done is can just be swept under the rug. I mean, you've admitted to mistakes. I think that everything that is a genuine mistake, you once again have the most to gain from all this. So it's not gonna fucking hurt you to just admit where you're wrong or whatever. Yeah, I think.
But it would.
I think that's a very interesting one, the 100 boys versus 100 girls video, because to me, without
Why
looking
is he
into it
so
at all,
dumb?
it's like that does seem.
Huh?
He said that Mr. Beast has everything to gain by being honest, so there's no reason for him to lie. No. There's what?
There is plenty to gain by being dishonest. What the fuck?
There's so much to gain from him to convince everybody that the entire internet has constantly lied about him and it's all fake.
Mm-hmm.
So- Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's admit to everything that the internet's accused me of. Everything be okay if it's all true.
It's sunshines and rainbows.
No wonder you got scammed, Oomperville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Holy
Weird, right? Like it
fuck.
seems like once again a conflict of interest. But at the same time, you're making YouTube videos. You're not making like, I don't know. You can endlessly make excuses for it and against it. It seems like that's why I'm saying it's kind of.
I mean, I think between like the contestants and people we've given stuff to in videos, like pretty confidently say like less than 1% of it's employees. So you know, if you were to take everyone who's ever been in the video, so like we're like, and a lot of it was like I said during the COVID time, where it's just like, well, I'm trying to be responsible, and so it's like, I mean, I think when you look at it through those lenses, I feel like any rational person would be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah. Okay, so now on to the response to critics. So the first person really to respond to critics was Chucky. But the second person, it seemed like, was Soggy Cereal, YouTuber, commentary YouTuber. And he made a video, and he's been, that video is sort of blowing up a little bit. It's not quite to the level of Dogpack's video when it first came out, but it's, it's coming up, and he did his best to.
I definitely want to do a video or a stream where we talk about the Soggy Cereal video because, again, Harmful Opinions said some things that resonated with me, and I can't think of them right now because I'm invested in this.
Oh,
But the Soggy Cereal
get it.
video is interesting.
Okay, I know why people rage quit now.
Why?
That's when he gets asked the dog pack question.
Oh,
Oh boy.
all right. Let's not assume and move
How far
forward.
are we?
We're
far
at
are
52
we?
minutes. Okay, we're not skipping ahead.
Skip. Nah, I'm just kidding. Continue.
Disprove a lot of Dogpack's claims, and even held you accountable for a lot of stuff in his video, which I thought was good. I thought his video was pretty good. I liked his video a lot, and I like him a lot. I've talked to him since that came out. I've talked to him a couple times. Yeah,
What
he
the
has criticized you today and last night, I think, to sort of timestamp when this video is being recorded so people know. He said, Soggy has criticized you sharing his video with other YouTubers as a way to shield yourself from criticism, like deeming the video to people. He also expressed feeling used by you, given that you used his video as a strategy to gather favor from the public, which, that's pretty wordy. It's like it just happened today. It's got to be something like, how do you feel about him feeling that way? Because he's not really defending you. He's more so trying to hold light to truth, which I appreciate that massively. And I do, talking to him, I do believe that he is an honest guy. How do you interpret his responses on Twitter if you've seen them? Have you seen them?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Okay.
I interpret it as him just trying to be honest with his audience and just expressing how he feels. And I think, obviously he probably, in his head, if he was even being more honest, he'd probably be like, Jimmy, why don't you just say these things? Why am I saying it? And I think, obviously, now that I'm here and doing this, that will alleviate it. But I can see how it feels. Like, obviously, I saw that video and it, disproved. I mean, there are some things in there I don't agree with, and he does go pretty hard on me, so which people seem to forget. But there are a lot of things in there that he disproved, and yeah, I mean, I got excited and shot it over to a bunch of creators who covered the false information, and was just like, look, I could see how that looks like I'm hiding behind it. Luckily, I'm here talking to you, so I don't think that'll be a problem anymore. But obviously, he's not, when he tweeted that, he doesn't know we were doing this, doesn't know this is coming out. I mean, he might now. You talk to him, but yeah, so like I don't blame him. You know what I mean? It's a reasonable thing. Like I think if I were to read a little between lines, he's just saying like, I don't want to be a shield. Jimmy, say something. You know what I mean? Like actually.
How much is this guy getting from Mr. Beast? He claims nothing. That is a 100%. You're gonna have to trust him on that.
It's tax free.
Because he's really not defending you. He's just disproving Dogpack. Like that.
Exactly.
That's the primary kind of driver. Or that's how I interpreted his video. I was like, oh, this is pretty balanced. I like him. He's a cool dude. So
yeah, he didn't go with the grain and disproved a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, also went kind of hard on me too. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah,
he's not a big fan of Lunchley.
He's not. That's one thing for sure. He does not like Lunchley.
By commenting on his video, you left a comment on Soggy's video after it was posted. You said, "This is finally a video that doesn't spread baseless slander about me."
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was a stupid comment. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, how do you think that looks? I mean.
Yeah, dumb. Agreed.
Okay.
Especially the LOL. That's
Yeah.
Next question. Yeah. Dumb.
Yeah.
The answer. Dumb. Yes.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, it's like it kind of gives weight to you sort of taking the situation lightly. Like if anybody should be taking the situation lightly, it should be like me or Soggy or people who aren't actively involved in the situation. How would you put that worry, that concern at ease for someone who's like willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, which I think is super important. And you say something like that, and then it seems like you were taking the situation in general lightly.
Yeah. No, I mean that's a good question. I mean honestly, there's just a lot of disinformation that was correct in that video. And I just wrote that comment and then right afterwards sent it to a couple of YouTubers, which because I was
such
just
a good
like,
question,
finally,
guys.
this thing is here. But I agree. Like dumb comment.
Legal and ethical issues. I feel like this is probably going to be a little bit more sort of. We're going to need some facts on screen to back up like whatever's being said here, just to because like there's only so much you can say.
Yeah.
So and Soggy did a good job of sort of disproving a lot of these claims just in general, or giving weight to ones that deserve to have weight given to them. Yeah. So watch his video. Obviously, he did a lot of work on this stuff. So Dawson claimed that you ran multiple illegal lotteries.
Watch the video.
And in Soggy's video, he sort of I think disproved 2, and then 1 he still believes was an illegal lottery.
Yes.
Do you believe that you ran an illegal lottery? Did you believe at the time? What was your mindset?
Did you break the law, sir?
Was there any compliance?
Did you break the law? Did you commit a felony? Can you admit to committing a felony live on air, please?
I don't think we did. I have people looking into it and like trying to pull the footage and figure it out. He disproved the 2, which I mean, those were crazy. I don't want to just like speculate. I have a team looking into it. I don't think we did though. But regardless, just to be truthful, if people want a refund or think for whatever reason, like we did something wrong, like I'll send you a link that you can just put in the description where they can get a refund. Maybe just throw it on the screen here.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, at the moment, that's all I really have to say. Maybe I could do a follow up in the future. I'm trying to, dig up all the footage from that live stream. This was like many years ago. Like this isn't like something I did 3 months ago.
Yeah. COVID. It was 2020, right?
I don't remember.
I think the first one, the questionable one that Soggy had in his video was in 2020. I think it was in August 2020.
And I just don't have the footage from him, so I'm looking them up.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think. I think at the very least, if people felt misled or whatever, or if
100% request a refund. I mean, we do that anyways. Like on our site, if people want refunds, we give it to them. But for this specifically, we can give you a URL, throw it right here. I mean, I have no idea what it'll be, and just send us your order code. Really, no big deal.
Cool. The investigation confirmed. So the third-party investigation confirmed isolated incidents of harassment how were these incidents addressed, and what systemic changes did you implement from after the investigation to prevent things like this from ever happening again? I'm assuming it's going to piggyback directly off the
what
the
we
HR
talked about before.
improvements.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, agreed. Like we talked about before, I have hundreds of employees, and when we brought the outside third party in, and I was like, hey, talk to whoever you need to, get an honest pulse of how some people are feeling. There were some things that people hadn't made us aware of that they felt more comfortable talking to Quinn Emanuel on, which is obviously ultimately why we ended up doing the anonymous hotline and that kind of stuff. And what you asked, what did we do? How do we handle it? Like I said before, it's just whatever they told me. If they told me like I need to fire someone, we fired them. Like I mean, it's not like I don't want to be the arbiter of truth. I want people who are professional in these things to get the information, make sure they have all the facts, and I want them to tell me what to do, right? Because obviously I work with these people, and so I could have some form of bias or whatever, or maybe I like this person better, and so I like to stay away from that kind of stuff. And so I just did whatever they told me to do. Yeah, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel when you found out that a third-party investigation concluded that there were incidents of harassment in your business?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I was like, well, how can we, like we talked about before, and so I started educating myself, and I've been bringing in new leaders and people who have worked in bigger companies, and I was just like, help me.
Oh,
make
Mr.
sure,
Beast is
like, this
more
kind of
than
stuff doesn't happen,
Fox.
and educate me on these kinds of things. Like, again, like this company has grown so fast. Like I keep saying the number 400 just so people realize this isn't just 10 employees making YouTube videos like it was for me 5 years ago. And so my first instinct was just like, educate me. Who do I bring in? How do we solve these things? And like I said before, it dials down to two things: making sure you're not fostering it, and then when it does happen, making sure you respond appropriately, and just like trying to learn everything I can in those two areas, and just find the best people in the world in those two areas to just review everything and make sure we're doing it correctly.
Dude, people were fired. How many people were disciplined, fired? Was it more like, how did that feel, knowing that there was like an amount of people that had to be disciplined, terminated, whatever, as a result of an investigation? It's kind of things just happening basically under your nose, due to a lack of business acumen or care or whatever word you would want to use.
Yeah.
How did it feel?
Well, I mean, like, I haven't even met all the people that work for me, because it's so big, and we have people all around the world and things like that. Just for context, I don't want people to think like, oh, these are people I'm just working with every single day and are just oblivious. But yeah, I mean, it just felt like I need to improve. I need to learn more, and just I want to fix these things, So I mean, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah. There you go. That's what I was looking for.
I'm a problem solver. When there's problems, like my default reaction, like instinct, is how do we solve it? And that's what we've been obsessing over, and I feel like we've made a lot of progress, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Are you going to sue
That's a good
Dogpack?
question, Dylan.
Oh, here's a Dogpack question.
Oh
there's
boy.
tons of examples of him intentionally manipulating things to not be true and posting it online. Tons and tons and tons of that. Soggy has basically an hour and 27-minute video, and an hour of it is just flat out proving manipulation and lies, and caused a lot of harm to my businesses. I mean, I've literally had people pull out millions of dollars and then tell me it was directly because of his video. Don't worry, I instantly was like, can you send that in writing? So, if I win a case or anything, I can directly point damages. No reason why. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Like, I don't want to be put in this situation, but probably going to have to. I mean, it's just, I mean, what do you do if someone's just spreading misinformation about you and, just causing harm to your business, and like getting it to the point where you might have to potentially fire people because it's costing you so much revenue? It's like, it's not fair to the people in my companies. You know what I mean? It's
just say yes.
It's not a thing I take joy in, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So, yes.
They're not done drafting it up, but once they're done, more than likely, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
I
That's,
mean, every law firm I've talked to, they're like, this would be the easiest win they've ever seen in their life. I mean, it's like crazy. I had one tell me like, you could chop up all the evidence into like sue 3 separate times and win all 3 cases because you'd have enough for each. Like one person I was talking to, he's won like 67 out of his last 70 cases, and he's like, this would be literally the easiest case I've ever done. Like it's because there's just so much blatant,
Well, I guess that's a really good short answer. Yes, he is going to sue Dogpack. And I'll be honest, Dogpack deserves it.
Dogpack fucking does deserve it, but holy fuck.
Man deserves. I hope that Rosanna kind of gets a little bit of that in there as well.
Rosanna, at this point, look, growing up, I really liked Rosanna Pansino, but after some of the shit I've been seeing, especially that one fucking vid, yeah, at this point, you get what's coming to you. Simple as.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll be honest, he's gonna struggle in any lawsuit.
Who, Mr. Beast?
Yeah,
Why?
Why?
because it would fall under reporting. It would fall under reporting, and because Dogpack and Rosanna always had like a specific source they were using, He would have to sue the sources for defamation. He wouldn't be able to sue DogFact.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. All right. Damn, too bad.
You guys
ain't.
discuss-
It'd be
Discussing
like
the
if
Ram
CNN brought somebody on their show to talk about a subject, and that person said something super defamatory, and they're like, "Well, I'm going to sue CNN for platforming them." You can't do that. He also has to get
No,
past
and-
slap in general.
Yeah. Slap
Hang
is
on.
another thing.
Slap is only in specific states. That's not a universal thing.
Are they in California?
I don't know where Dogpack is. Yeah, if it's in Cali, then I do believe there's anti-slap legislation.
So it really kind of depends of where they are. It's like I do know some things in DocPat's video. They're threading the needle and stuff and pointing to it, so that stuff they can be held for. But other things that this person came out and said this, yeah, Mizu's right. It falls under reporting because it's not their claim. They're just putting that out as, hey, we're reporting on this because they want to get this out.
Yeah. So and such said.
He would also have to open himself up to extreme levels of discovery, because the truth is an absolute defense against defamation. The truth.
Yeah,
So anything they were accusing, he would have to give them access to see if it was true or not.
Yeah.
I'm back.
So they're saying, oh well, this is not true. That this questionable content was being shared around with our employees. They'll have to open up all the Slack servers, all the emails, all the DM. They'll have to open all that up.
Right. Ow. Fuck.
All right, let's continue. I am gonna have to get up and grab. Ramen is here in a moment.
Misinformation and lie
ramen.
spread, like, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just go watch Sagi's video. Go look at his Twitter where he's redacted multiple ones of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to be in this position.
Now, what do you think? Do you think that there could be any sense of regret from that? I mean, optically, once again, there's a lot of things working against you on a constant basis because you're the biggest person in the world on YouTube and social media, and you're just crammed down people's throats algorithmically. Like if you decide to sue this man, even if he deserves it or not, which is like obviously up to you.
Well, I just want the slander and disinformation to stop. It would be the bigger reason. But you're saying, when am I worried about how that would affect me PR-wise?
Yeah, just like, what do you think?
I mean, right now I'm getting canceled because I'm not suing him, because they're saying, well, Jimmy's not suing him, therefore there was truth, or Jimmy would be suing him. So at this point, I'm so big, it's kind of, most scenarios are like, either way, like there's a vast negative for me. People are like, oh, he's not going to sue because he's worried about discovery. No, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Why do I care? I'm here. This is discovery. You know what I mean? And that they just
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
well, no matter what I do
it
at this
is
point, like, there's just a
not.
large group of people that are just gonna be unhappy, and that's just like a reality I have to be okay with, to be honest. As long as I agree with what
I'm saying,
doing,
yelling,
and
my
I believe in what I'm doing,
microphone's muted.
that's all I
Here's
do
the
at this point.
real
Yeah, 'cause
question.
I think a lot
Do
of
you
people,
think he
they're-
genuinely doesn't understand how invasive true discovery is?
No, we investigated ourselves and we found nothing wrong. Yeah, you hired a PR firm that is good at covering up misconduct that other people have done.
Yeah, but my question is, I'm wondering if he thinks that law firm, because it do you think he's actually dumb enough to believe that law firm is about the same as what a real discovery would be? That they would just ask politely for certain things and then let you off if you say no?
They Webster Dictionary that on the fucking screen. They're that dumb.
I would not.
They're
be
literally
surprised.
that dumb. And on the other hand, it's not gonna be their lawyers that are gonna be doing this. It's gonna be the other side's lawyers. So if he sues Dogpacks, it's gonna be Dogpacks lawyers subpoenaing the fucking information from them to look for it.
No, I'm aware of that. I'm saying, if we believe that Mr. Beast is genuinely so dumb that he doesn't know what some of these contracts are, do you believe he's genuinely also so dumb that he doesn't understand just how invasive discovery is going to be and just how much he's going to have to give up?
From what
He
I've heard
probably
so
is.
far. From what I've heard so far in this, well, I've never done this before in $1 million company and so many people. I don't know, just hire the people in, throw money at it. He's that dumb.
throw money until the problem goes away.
Hello, Mr. Sniffer.
Dear God, this has been mind-boggling to fucking watch.
I mean, you can
Now
leave
I
if you
see.
need to.
Now I see why people got rage quit in the fucking
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah. Fuck me. Akka, you were trying to say something and we talked over you?
I was gonna say if you need to leave, you may.
What?
Like,
I didn't say I needed to leave.
It is very frustrating.
No. I ain't rage quitting. I don't rage quit. I don't quit at all. Never
We're just
quit.
gonna rage.
Yes.
Yes.
I miss the rage.
Probably a minority. Well, it's definitely a minority of people just in general who actually care about this type of shit. But
And
like,
drink beer.
you know, the silencing critics, for example, something very similar has happened. Well, not that similar, but something is happening to CoffeeZilla, who we'll talk about here in a minute as well. He's being sued, and that just, you know, to someone like me, I care about like rationality and understanding and people being big and, you know, communicate.
100%. And I would just say, go watch the Sagi video.
Yeah.
Look at all the blatant
Of course,
manipulation of lies. And this isn't me trying to silence them. This is me trying to like,
Yeah, and-
this is like borderline. I owe it to my employees.
It's-
It's like,
yeah.
I can't look at someone in the eyes and go, sorry, you're getting laid off because he decided to keep spreading misinformation about us. You know, go complain to
Yeah,
Dogpack,
I understand. It's like there's a
This is bigger than me. I have a lot of people,
Right.
a lot of families, a lot of kids that, you know, work or are under, you know, the people I employ that work for me. Like, it's not just me. Like, I can't.
Of course.
So.
And it's also, you know, just to finish what I was going to say, it is not silencing a critic. It is preventing the spread of misinformation, proven misinformation.
Exactly.
So I think being able to make that distinction, though, is very important. And that's something to consider. It's like how do you stop the misinformation, the slander, but also don't prevent people from caring about things ethically going forward and feeling willing to criticize someone.
You guys talk for a moment. My tea is done.
Oh, I don't have anything to say. You stopped at a terrible point.
Well, I was gonna say, aside from dear fucking God, yeah, I see why. You know, just random bullshittery. Sorry about that weird sound I made. Beer fizzed over, and now I've got a mess. God damn it. I'm sad.
But no, this is just
So you party fouled.
Yes. I just committed alcohol abuse.
This isn't just an Oompa thing. This is actually a lot of people that try and step into kind of like the interview zone sort of area. Is they'll do this thing where they'll ask a question, the other person will answer, and they'll be like, "Well, I guess it's settled then." No, it's not. They could be lying to you.
Yeah. They're trying to do a Joe Rogan thing, but they don't understand specifically how Joe Rogan, because I vividly remember this. This was a major thing, which is why I was like, huh, okay, I respect you, Joe. So Joe had Jack Dorsey on, and Jack was just lying his fucking ass off. And people got really angry in the comments. So what did Joe do? He interviewed Jack again and had Tim on. Regardless of your opinion on Tim, that was him saying, okay, well, this person clearly knows stuff better than I do. Therefore, here you go. And he got more educated on the subject. Obviously, he wasn't a pro, but that is a sign of, okay, well, I'm clearly not the most educated man on the subject. Let me bring someone in who can. And I respect that highly.
My whole
Idiots like Oompa, he's not going to walk his ass back on this.
Well, my whole issue with this is this just seems more for clout than anything else. It's for clout, it's for views. It's like, oh my God, because I have so many questions about this whole deal. It's like, how did Oompa even get this interview to begin with? It's like, he's way too close, in my opinion. And the way he's been acting towards it, come on.
I just think
Sucking
Mr.
that
Beast
knob.
sought him out.
Yeah,
I
Mr.
doubt
Beast.
that.
No, I 100% think Mr. Beast sought him out because of how
I
large he is, and the fact that all of his interviews against really controversial people have been super softball interviews where he just believes everything the other person says.
I don't think as Mr. Beast on him out. I think Mr. Beast got pointed to him.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
I mean,
splitting
that's
hairs.
sort of the same thing.
That's kind of splitting hairs at this point. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
The
but
point is, Mr. Beast chose to go on this show because he knew it would be softballs.
yeah.
He's probably enjoying the softballs. They're really nice and squishy.
All right, let's continue.
someone like you. Even though obviously this situation, it appears quite clear cut that this is misinformation, and truth is obviously the most important thing, but also there's like a sort of a slippery slope of silencing critics and censorship and all this crazy stuff, and freedom of speech is so important, but obviously lies and slander are not protected by the freedom of speech. So it's just a big giant optical pill to swallow and consider, I feel like.
Agreed.
And I would be really interested to see your thoughts going forward, in your decisions that you decide to make. I would love to stay in the loop on that because, in the very beginning, I thought Soggy had good intentions. Dog Pack, exactly, yeah. Soggy does have good intentions, in my opinion. In the very beginning, and now things obviously are, he's turned this into sort of his thing.
Good intentions, even though even the very first video literally was, 90% lies?
It seemed.
You got manipulated,
yeah,
but
of course, yeah.
that doesn't make it good intentions.
Yeah, I'm just saying it seemed, and a lot of people also believe that.
Was it good intentions when he photoshopped a fake live stream and falsely accused me of not saying something I did say and falsely accused something?
Oh my gosh, you can hear how upset he's getting with this.
This is really not helping your case.
But hurt.
It's like, are you sure he was helping me? It's like, whoa, sorry. That's not what I meant.
I'm sorry, Massa. Don't beat me harder, Massa.
Holy fuck. That is not good.
When he put a king-size Feastables bar beside a regular-size Hershey's bar and didn't disclose that, and then lied about us having more sugar than them. I could sit here and do this for the next 30 minutes.
I
think that's
you
just
do
a
have more sugar
misconception
than
that
them,
everyone has.
though.
It's like there's never good intentions.
Yeah, of course.
That came
I watched
out.
that video and I was
You
like,
used
this
to
is
not,
lied.
but you changed all the ingredients, and it's not healthier anymore.
Why did they do that? Because it didn't taste yummy or what?
Oh, it tasted like shit.
I never had an original Beast bar, but honestly...
Nobody liked them. They couldn't sell them. They tasted bad. Because that's the reason, Hershey's is so bad for you, because it tastes really fucking good.
Interesting.
I disagree.
If you take out all the stuff that makes it bad for you, it doesn't taste good anymore.
Actually, okay, weird question. I know we're tangenting, and I'll just ask this one question and then move on. Mizu.
Yeah.
Cliff Bars, yes or no?
I've never had one.
Really? Okay, interesting. I personally like it. That's the only thing I want to say on that. All right, let's go.
And everyone's like, oh my god. I was like, whoa.
We're just talking about optics, though.
Okay,
is my point.
optically.
Right, optically.
People who fell for
the
optics. Yes.
But that's the lowest common denominator. That's what makes this entire world that we're in go round, is how people are reacting to things. You can't expect people to be to go out of their way to give you the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
so it's super important to consider all that.
Yes.
But yeah, and obviously it's been proven now that he is Mr. and misinformation combined, right? It's for someone like me who actually cares about, I like to pretend that I care about the truth of things, and I don't want someone like you who has worked very hard objectively to get where you're at. I don't want you to be slandered or for people to lie about you, etc. But at the same time, you are the one who's going to win. You are the one who will always win. You're the top, right? You got these big things. You have the most responsibility. You've got to be the best guy.
Cognizant of the implications it would have.
Yeah.
But it's also on the reverse side. It potentially caused people to not want to spread misinformation and not slander people. So there's also the positive side of that, where people realize disinformation has repercussions.
It's just something to consider.
Agreed.
Right?
I don't take the decision lightly. Trust me.
Yeah. Okay. I believe that as well. But yeah, I think that's a
the ball washing is
you're the
real.
guy. I mean, if anybody could go and be as ethical as possible and do everything as perfectly as possible and actually take the moral high ground and not just pretend, it is you. You got all the resources. You are the guy who can do all this stuff.
Yeah.
To be honest. So, yeah. And I think I think you'll do all this stuff cool and right, and stop slander, misinformation, etc.
Yeah. This is hyperglazing at this point.
Big difference.
No, this is.
Could be an accident.
Let's see.
If anyone could be as ethical and as perfect as possible, it would be
one
you.
of my favorite YouTubers. There was a comprehensive report published.
What do you mean?
Negative light on crypto dealings allegedly associated.
Oh, he's talking about the crypto shit.
To what extent were you involved in these crypto transactions?
Somebody needs to take the sloppy BJ sound effect and post over this.
Detailing these allegations. I thought he gave you a benefit of the doubt in that video.
Yeah.
I think he's a very reasonable guy, to be honest. I think he's a very smart, reasonable guy who cares about doing the right thing, which is pretty rare on YouTube. How do you? How would you respond to Coffee's video?
Yeah, Coffee's video and the report. Well, so I'll start off with the report. I mean, most people probably haven't even read it, but that's what kind of spawned that whole thing was this. Did you see it? Yeah, so the gist of this crypto report that was... 1 second, sorry. It's not my... The gist of this report was Jimmy is too stupid to like make this kind of money, therefore it must be insider trading. This is his wallet, clearly there was insider trading because he never would have been able to make this kind of money, when in reality, which is what I told Coffee in that statement we gave him, it was managed by a fund. So I wasn't the one managing the wallet. I've never had access to that wallet. I've never done the buying and selling of the wallet. There was a actual
What Coffee had said was, and he actually mentioned this, yeah, you said you weren't, but yet here you say, oh, I'm hands off. Here you're not. Here you aren't. Here you are. Back and forth, back and forth. Whenever something goes good, you take credit. Whenever something goes to shit, you don't. Fuck off, mate. We see what you're doing. Continue.
Actual professional who's written books on crypto and lived and breathes crypto every second of the day managing it. So most of the allegations there are just answered by I am too stupid to do that. That's why a fund was managing it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, like Coffee said, if he literally said this in a video, if you like Jimmy, then you're like, yeah, he has answers for everything and just checks out. And if you don't like Jimmy, then you're going to go, there's obviously wrongdoing here. But yeah, I mean, the honest truth is I make videos, I'm running 7 businesses, I got a lot going on. And yeah, I invest in a crypto fund, they invest on my behalf. And I've never had access to that wallet. They're the one doing the buying and selling. I mean, there are thousands of transactions on there. I don't even have that kind of time. I'm sure you could probably even look at it and see days where I was maybe in solitary confinement or doing a video where I didn't even have access to a computer and there's trading. So for the conspiracy theorists that think I'm lying and using the fund as a cover up,
maybe
there's got to be some way where you could just figure that out.
More than likely, yeah.
But yeah, that's the honest transparency is, I was in a crypto fund and people thought I owned the wallet and it's called Wu-Tang Clan. Do you listen to Wu-Tang Clan?
I have, yes.
I don't. So I think that's another
Wu-Tang.
indicator. I wouldn't have named it Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
I had to educate myself on what Wu-Tang Clan was. So
okay.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty interesting. Because yeah, I mean, the whole just YouTubers in any way being involved with crypto in any sense now is just
agreed. And that's why I literally put it in a fund, because I was I don't want to fuck with this stuff and be I just I want someone who knows what they're doing to do it, to make sure things are above board. So that's literally why I did that, right? It's because I was if I'm buying and selling it, maybe I mess things up or do something dumb. So I was oh, this fund is led by someone who knows what he's doing. Here you go. That was literally the whole logic behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. On to some philanthropy and charitable work
My
stuff.
fund holder was
Soggy
Boogie.
revealed delays in philanthropic projects such as the walking assistance video due to lost partnerships. He talked about that in his sort of disproving video. How do you intend on regaining trust between that brand that is literally a vehicle for philanthropy?
Yeah.
And how do you intend on regaining trust with the brands to put money to that to generate revenue to use for?
Yeah. I mean, I hope step one is literally this video. I mean, I hope I just need people to just stop making videos titled "Mr. Beast fakes his philanthropy with devil horns" in the thumbnail of my head, and just stating facts that aren't facts. Because as long as people are just spreading that disinformation, I mean, it's gonna be pretty hard to convince these people. But hopefully, once that dies down, I think it's just more of a time thing. Because it'd be nice, because the charity definitely needs that whole disinformation thing to kind of just stop. I spend $150,000 a month, so I pay for the employee salary, so all the revenue from the videos go straight towards doing our project. So I cover all this employees, a little bit of overhead, that kind of stuff. So that way, if we get a $400,000 brand deal plus the ad revenue from the video, we can spend all that money on buying shirts for homeless people or whatever it is. So I just put that money in, but this this past week, when we also put the $150,000 in the account, I had to put another $1 million in to make up for 2 lost brand deals. So I'm now having to plow money in on top of the $150,000 a month I'm already plowing in, on top of filming the videos and doing all that. And it's just it's just brutal, to be honest, because I can't do that forever. So because I'm already putting a lot of money into it, and so hopefully I don't know the answer. I don't have a crystal ball, but hopefully people just kind of stop slandering you. You can attack me, just don't attack the channel. It's literally a 501c3. That'd be nice to me.
It's in your name.
Yeah, and
it's your brand.
That one's weird to me because it's
I would unironically. This is a crazy sentence, but unironically, if instead of starting a YouTube channel, giving it to a 501c3,
it's literally the same thing they went
donating
at
millions upon
completion
millions of dollars, all the revenue to a charity, and then use that to help people. If I had just started any other channel, I don't know,
except the completion
You
was
understand it's a
scammer.
charity. There can't be anything bad about it.
It's heckin' wholesome chungus.
I do agree
It's
that
not like there's ever been cases of charities frauding people before.
I mean, I do think that his charity has helped people. Because we have seen results of it. It has been on camera, but we have seen results of it.
Yeah, but you still make money from it. Like, I think people have this very strange idea that if something is a charity, nobody at all is making any sort of money from it.
Oh no, I'm
which
not
is
disagreeing.
not necessarily true.
I agree with you.
Well, I just find it funny because if I remember, Oompa like went 9 shades from Sunday at completionist for, oh my god, it's so bad, and now he's in here just slobbing the knob on Mr. Beast.
Got to be a good cock polisher.
It's just consistency.
I'm really interested to see what the commentary's response for this will be.
Same.
I'll be very disappointed in Nicholas Diorio if he says that this is a good video.
Their target right now is Dog Pat. They can give a shit less about Mr. Beast right now.
I know, but still.
I think, yeah, I actually would be intrigued of what Nick is going to say about this, because holy fuckerinos.
Side note, I decided to put a piece of cheddar cheese in my spicy ramen. It actually tastes pretty good.
Well, yeah, no shit. Cheese always tastes delicious in ramen.
I've never done it before.
Hey, Akko, I'm about to blow your fucking mind. Go get an egg.
I've done that
and
before
put
too.
a soft-boiled egg in.
Listen, I can't walk away to make soft-boiled eggs. That's not going to happen.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
Hello, Dama.
Continue.
And kept
Dama!
all the money.
Hi!
And just bought a $10 million mansion after like 2 years. I think that universe where I just sit down and talk and buy a $10 million mansion and make a video on the mansion, that version of me would get maybe 1% of the shit.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and so it's like, but that's not why I do it, because I actually would get less hate if I just stopped the philanthropy channel. But I just want to help people in it's cool projects, and I believe in what it's doing. But it is a little funny when you think about it.
I mean, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the devil horns thing. Dogpack actually cut a part out of his first video about you being the Antichrist. Did you see that?
Oh my
What
fuck.
did you think of that?
He did not fucking call him the Antichrist. No.
Well, you did get here a little fast, to be honest.
He actually?
You teleported.
The sad
in.
part is he was being serious in it. And,
Yeah, he cut that part out.
And that he showed that part publicly, and people still were like, okay, well, Kim saying Jimmy's the Antichrist because one of his studios was a church, because there's not many warehouses in North Carolina, so I just bought a church and converted it into a warehouse. And like, he unironically was claiming I was the Antichrist in the same video as all these other accusations, but everyone's like, oh, that's the only crazy accusation. Everything else is true. When I saw that, I was like, okay, now people are gonna be like, okay, maybe he's just, but didn't change anything.
I mean, yeah. Does it like bother you? Did that bother you specifically, or is it just? I mean, because how do you even?
I'm not the Antichrist. I mean, where's the Bible? I'm not the Antichrist.
It's completely unrelated, but as
yeah,
somebody
that's
who's not
really
really
interesting.
religious anymore, I've always thought it was kind of heretical to claim anybody was the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Just based on scripture, because scripture would imply that nobody could physically know who it was. So if even one person thinks it's the Antichrist, it's immediately not the Antichrist.
Well, I
yeah,
think
it's
that
blasphemy.
I think that the Antichrist is going to come down and say who he is, if I remember correctly.
No, according to scripture, the Antichrist will live among the earth for multiple years without any problems, and no one will suspect them.
Which means that they could be here right now.
They would be beloved by absolutely everyone.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Akko, if you say it, I'm going to fucking break your windpipe.
I already know where they're going with it.
Again, that's just a side point. It doesn't matter. But from my interpretation of scripture, if you accuse somebody of being the Antichrist, that's somewhat heretical.
I'd have to ask my mom about that.
Yeah. Sorry, I just want to pull this from chat. He could be me. He could be you. He could even be.
Is that the spy short?
Yes.
I figured.
Yes.
117. Chat, we're almost halfway in.
Oh my god, we're almost there.
Oh wait, we are
Sweet
halfway in.
Jesus. Let's go.
It is a weird one, because I've heard people say that in my real life. They're like, his name is. We live out here in the sticks.
Yeah.
All right, and they're like, his name is Beast. It's got the 6,000. That's a 6. Like people, I think that's very funny, to be honest, and in like an ironic way. I don't actually obviously believe that you are the Antichrist.
I'll be honest. I don't even know what that means. The Antichrist. I see those conspiracy theories occasionally, and
Yeah.
I don't even, if I was just like, I tweeted, yes, I'm the Antichrist. Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
I thought he was
You ever,
religious.
What do you mean you
Babylonian
don't know what that
curses?
means, bro?
Only occasionally. Not-
I feel
not-
like
not in
from
the past
pop
year, I've kind of
culture
moved away from
alone,
it.
it's
you-
very
you
difficult for somebody to not know what that
Stop
means.
speaking in tongues.
We need
Yeah.
to stop joking like this, 'cause that's
Also,
gonna
it's
be
in the name.
It's gonna be the next War Pegasus video.
Mr. Beast Antichrist confirmed.
Yeah, they're gonna take the clip of me talking about the thumbnail with the horns
Yeah.
and put that there.
Yeah, I'll show him a picture of my circle with a pentagram in it that you spawned out of.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you plan? So back to philanthropy, to things that actually matter and are actually important, because
Yes.
that's what the whole point of this video is, to try to be.
Oh, but we're
honest.
being serious.
Yeah, it's serious.
Hey, lock in.
Yeah, it's a serious video, and we're trying to be honest.
It actually is serious.
It really is very
Yeah.
serious.
Oh.
Do you plan
It's
to
not
provide
serious.
more transparency in how funds are used?
Akko,
for
it's
your
very
philanthropic
serious.
efforts for Beast
Yeah.
Philanthropy, your 501.
I've seen a lot of people ask about that too. So for the Beast Philanthropy, anyone can audit our books. We pass the audit every year, and we make those things public. Also, I actually called CoffeeZilla like 9 months ago, and I asked him to do a video where he like broke down. Maybe it was the 9 months ago. I don't know the exact month, but like break down Beast Philanthropy and try to find anything fraudulent in there, because we're super anal about every
Right.
penny spent on the charity. So I would, if anyone wants to do a deep dive on our charity, I would love that, because it would be awesome, so people could see the links we go to on the main channel. I mean, we don't have much transparency, but I mean, it would just be depressing if I showed people, because well, a lot of our newer philanthropic videos we do on the main channel, like building 100 houses, wells, blind people, we don't do brand deals on them, so those videos lose a ton of money, because we definitely don't make enough money off the ad revenue to pay for them. So every single time we do one of those videos on the main channel, it's usually -1 or -$2 million. So I mean, that's basically the transparency. When I do it on the main channel, they typically lose a fuckload of money. The charity, if anyone wants to like deep dive the books, that'd be awesome. I've been wanting some YouTuber to do that, so we could show like how impressive what we do is.
Do you I've heard you repeatedly talk about how much money is lost or whatever. What makes like money? Like how do you?
Yeah,
how does-
Feastables. As you know, self food. Obviously, it is profitable. But yeah, I mean, the content is just we lose a lot of money on our content. I don't want to say it because but it's a disgusting amount. But so we offset it through things like Feastables and things like that. As a whole, you know, we're gonna lose money this year, especially because of everything going on. Didn't really help.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the transparency. I mean, obviously, you can, like you mentioned, you can audit
The Beast
charities.
Philanthropy books,
They're
yeah.
totally public. So
Yeah, I would love to fly someone out. We've unironically been wanting to do this. We asked a couple YouTubers. They just were like, "Well, if you're asking us, then there's probably nothing there. So why would I do a video on it?"
Yeah.
So like, people only care when there's a smoking gun.
Yeah, of course.
But I've been trying to get someone to do a video like deep diving the Beast Philanthropy financials. 'Cause
Well, I
people have
mean,
so
yeah,
many,
you
like,
messaged the guy that
theories.
covers
Theories,
crypto
exactly. And I'm like, bro, I'm
scams
not
and asked him
hiding
to
it.
show
Like,
how
they just
you're not a
literally say no when I
scam.
ask.
That's
Like,
not really like
anyways.
his thing.
some fans feel like
yeah.
there's a fine line between philanthropy and using vulnerable people.
And
for
he
content.
starts looking
How
and
do
you
you
snuff
feel-
him.
Like, it just doesn't make sense. He's like, yeah, we've been trying to message people to get them to cover us to show how not a scam we are. It's like, okay, that sounds good on paper, but even like assuming that like that's completely genuine motives behind it, those people don't cover that kind of content.
People
It's-
like negative, not positive.
Well, it's not like negative. It's just literally not anywhere in CoffeeZilla's like repertoire. It's not something his channel does.
Well, not only that, you know, Coffee tells him no, and then later on he goes to look into it, and now he's finding something and is like snuffs him off now.
Yeah. It's really.
Well, it's like the Paco thing. It's like what Paco was trying to tell us we should cover like politics and stuff. Like, it's just not our repertoire.
Yeah.
It's just it's how it is with CoffeeZilla. He covers crypto scams. I'm sorry that you find that to be super negative, but that's his content. That's his niche. What he covers.
It's what makes him him.
Yeah, and like he even mentioned, the part that CoffeeZilla covered on him was the crypto part. That was the part he touched on. He does not care about your charity because it's not in his sphere. And it wouldn't go over well with his followers. Everybody'd be like, okay, so you did like a 40-minute video to tell us how great Mr. Beast is. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's like, oh, so you're sucking him off now. All right, fuck you.
Yeah, like it's not going to go over well with his followers. Like he has a channel too and content to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, Chad. I'm enjoying my ramen. It's good shit.
Yeah.
Real good shit.
But yeah, this is just one of those things where it's like you were asking another creator to actively shoot themselves in the foot just so you can have good press. Like that. You should know as somebody that's sitting here talking about how you do videos that hurt your channel actively, why somebody else wouldn't want to do that.
Precisely.
This just comes off as narcissism to me.
It does.
he should tell everybody how good I am. Why won't he do it? That's all I'm hearing.
Pretty much. Pretty fucking much.
All right, let's continue.
About people who think that your videos unintentionally exploit vulnerable people for entertainment. So
Yeah.
I think that's a very valid concern that people have, and I think this is one that's gonna be hard to kind of explain because people are gonna just be like, well, you know, just be a rich guy and donate all your money, and you know, you have more money than me, therefore you have to donate it, or I can criticize you. Like that. It's a really hard argument to win, I guess. But if you had to explain that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
What kind of ramen? Spicy.
Honestly, that would be an easier one to take video by video, because obviously that is something I'm very cognizant of, and I don't want to take advantage of people or use people, and so. But I mean, one video I'm burying myself alive. The next video we're flying, like comparing it. The world's cheapest plane ticket, the most expensive. The other we're helping 1,000 people see. The other we're putting 100 people in a circle. They're just so different, right? The answer to that for helping 1,000 people see again would be completely different than the answer for when I put 100 people in a circle or whatever. So as a blanket one, I'm not 100% sure how to like just blanketly answer it. Besides, like that is something I'm very aware of, and like we try to pick people who don't really fit that bill. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It seems like a difficult line to walk, to be honest. I don't think. Yeah, it's a tough.
Like
tough
when
business.
we were doing the helping 1,000 people see again. Like if someone's like, I don't want to be on camera, which this happened lots of times. We just be like, that's fine. You can still have the surgery. So a lot of times we do that, especially in the ones where people are more less fortunate. We're very hyper cognizant of it, and we cut people out all the time, or we just don't even film. Like sometimes people, we make them aware beforehand, but they'll just show up and then they'll get a little camera shy. And like anytime I pick up on,
He
them,
has
I'm
to
always
skate
like, hey,
around this
like,
one really
you don't wanna be on camera, we will
carefully
still do this. Like,
because
it's
this
really not-
accusation is basically that he is doing bum fights for some of his videos, basically.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
so-
I actually don't know this. What?
So the do you both know what bum fights was?
No.
Yes, I loved bum fights when I was young.
Akko, did you know what it was?
No.
So basically, this kind of asshole video producer would pay homeless people to beat the crap out of each other or do like other insane, dangerous things in order to make him money off the videos.
Another good example would be diving for crack rocks. So throwing rocks into a fucking pool, and
Not necessarily important. The fact is, he was taking people that were very desperate, had no money and nothing to their name, and the only reason they were doing this crazy shit was because they were desperate and had nothing to their name.
Yep.
The accusation here is that some of the stuff Mr. Beast does attracts people that are very desperate and are in deep need of money that under normal circumstances would have never participated in the stuff he's doing.
Yeah.
And he has to like walk this line very, very carefully because some of it is extremely hard to argue that he is not exploiting people that are desperate.
Yup.
And really quickly,
Well-
Dama, it is Shin Ramen.
And along with that, the whole, eye surgery thing, filming, is that goes into a realm that can get real iffy also.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Dr. Phil.
It's harder with the eye surgery thing because that's actually not too odd of a request. Like, hey, if you allow us to put you on video, we'll pay for your eye surgery or whatever. It's more the stuff like you need to do this thing that is actively harmful and dangerous to yourself, and if you succeed, you'll get money from it.
Yeah.
Because the eye surgery thing is just straight beneficial. Like maybe you get negative press for being on the internet or something. I don't know. It's more related to the stuff like the guy they locked in the bunker for a month or a week or however long it was. That gets into the kind of exploitative territory where if he wasn't desperate for money, he probably wouldn't have done it. And it was actively dangerous to him and harmful to his mental health.
Yep. Oh, but he's crazy, Mizu. We can't trust him.
The guy is kind of a nutter, though.
Yeah, the joke is that doing that is what made him lose his brains.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where it's like he's really trying to skate around this, and it's because he has to. Since for some of the videos, I really can't see a defense other than, yeah, we exploited people, and that doesn't sound good.
Yep.
No. Yeah.
And they're always like, oh, then yeah, I'd prefer not to. And it's like, cool. And then we just step out and let them do their thing.
That's cool. Yeah, I think Because that's one thing that's like a running joke is like you have to be on camera. You have to be a part of it.
That's a part of why I like doing so many, because like if I do 1,000
we got our
surgeries,
lawyer
I
back.
don't need all of them.
Yay, the alpha's
exactly.
back.
Exactly. I mean, we show like rapid fire so people can see proof that we did that many, but it's like if 100 of them or 200 of them don't want to be on camera, it's not a big deal.
Now, to the 1,000 video, 1,000 people with blindness video, there was a nonprofit that alleged it was.
Oh, that's a good segue.
Yeah, it was alleged that it was not paid.
Yes.
And you eventually paid them 8 months later. What was the cause of the delay?
Yeah, 100%. And that you said alleged. I mean, so they weren't paid. Let me zoom out. Basically, we did a video where we helped 1,000 people see again. We off camera actually did 800 other surgeries. So we did 1,800 surgeries. I just only put 1,000 in the video. And for a lot of them, we worked through with the charity just to make sure things were, because they had a lot of experience with this. And that charity worked with a lot of doctors on the ground and other little charities. And one of the charities.
So yeah, if you only did 1,000 on video, you only did 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
It's one of those things. If you only have proof for like X amount, you only have proof for X amount.
Yeah.
Did a couple dozen surgeries. I don't know the exact number. I'm gonna say around 30. And then the charity we were working with was supposed to release the funds to him afterwards to pay for it. There's a little bit of a misunderstanding. They didn't get it, so we ended up paying for like 970. And like I didn't know of this, but like that little misunderstanding never got taken care of. So then the charity that did the 30 surgeries made a video saying, hey, we didn't get paid. Somehow that never ended up on my radar for 8 months, which is honestly crazy. I don't know how no one sent that to me. We obviously had no knowledge of it. And then I saw it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, whoa, I instantly called the team we were working with, and I was like, what's going on here? And then we looked through it all, blah, blah. And then I was just like, I just paid them. So I actually double paid for those surgeries and just paid them separately. Obviously just a little misunderstanding, 1,000 surgeries. Even if here's a couple ways you could look at this rationally. If we did 970 surgeries, why would I intentionally not pay the last 30 to save 3%? Just nuke the entire rep of the video just to save 3% of money. A, that just doesn't even seem logical. B, what makes it even less logical,
doesn't matter.
We did 800 more eye surgeries off camera. And obviously, I'm over
Also, I don't
but I have
think
to because there are literal videos using this.
He's got to understand this. Plenty of businesses do that. If you're doing all this work so consistently and you save like 5% here and there every single time, that adds up very quickly.
Yup.
Like he's like, oh, it's only like 5% of our cost. Yeah, and that if you did that every single time, which is what people are going to think happened,
5% is
that adds fast.
astronomical in terms of like total cost.
Yeah,
It comes to millions. Yeah.
It's like a assembly line for a vehicle. If you can remove one bolt because the other ones can hold it in place just fine, you save a lot of money down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Big Mutra, thank you for becoming an elite goober. I appreciate that.
But yeah, it's like 5% isn't a lot when you're like middle class and you're like saving 5% off a $100 purchase, right? And it's like, it's like $5. If you're poor or if you're rich and getting into like, I need money or I'm making big purchases,
sure, and I'm not how many,
5%
I'm not
is
sure how many in
huge.
chat are, but like how many here are familiar with what's known as Boots theory?
No one. Just go with no one. So
Go
start
ahead and
yapping.
explain.
So Boots theory is, say there's two pairs of boots. There's one pair that costs $5, one pair that costs $50. Now, obviously, a poor person is going to pay for the $5 pair, but the $5 pair is going to wear out a lot sooner than the $50 pair. So even though the better investment is $50, everyone always goes for the cheaper option. Why? Because it's just even 5% off your budget can be pretty substantial.
Huge.
Yeah, that's why this isn't really making sense with him. Like, oh, it's just 5%. Yeah, 5% is huge, especially when you're talking in like millions of dollars. That's a lot of money. And if you do that every single time, that's adding up to insane amounts of money. So, like, why would I try and save 5% off my purchase? Because it's a lot of fucking money for you.
Because it adds up and I get more points for my Amazon card.
Remember,
Well, I
kids,
mean-
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
God damn.
So,
I love it.
mean,
Not
well,
sponsored.
Well, it kind of comes down to it's like, what kind of eye surgeries were they doing? LASIK eye surgeries? And it's like, well, this is going to be without insurance too. Do the math on that. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like, I don't think this is helping his case as much as he wants it to be.
Yeah, it's like no. Okay, so this is helping his
Especially
case
the
for
800
drooling
extra
idiots.
surgeries off camera.
For those that are dumb and don't know, it's helping his case. But for people that actually are financially savvy in any fucking way, it's not helping his case. Because
Well,
we know.
well, it
Others
also
don't.
comes down. It also comes down to it like this: the 30 that got gypped out, were they the ones that didn't want to be on camera?
Yep. Exactly, Sparks. Exactly.
Well, it's not people. They're talking. There's an entire charity they were working that with did not get paid for 8 months, and he's like, "Well, I didn't know they weren't getting paid for 8 months."
Yikes.
And he's like, "Somehow that slipped under my radar, but it just slipped under. It's not that big a deal."
Just slipped under.
And this is actually a different problem that I think probably needs to be addressed. But it's either about it or you don't know, and your company is consistently having these problems with miscommunication and not paying people.
Either way, it's not good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because once or twice, you might be able to excuse it. Yeah, maybe something slipped through the cracks this one time. But right now, it's every single question that comes up. Well, that one also slipped through the cracks. Well, that one also slipped through the cracks.
We're
And-
sorry.
Yeah.
At what point is it a systemic issue with your company?
Sorry.
Yeah. Also, looking at this, it's like $2,000, $4,000 per eye without insurance.
So sorry.
I mean, you guys saying this, all I can think of is the South Park episode with the
That was the reference, Mizu.
Not you guys aren't saying it right then if
Also,
that's the
that's
reference.
What do you
exactly
mean
we
we're
were
not
referring
saying
to.
it right? Okay, you say it then, fucker.
You're supposed to be all seductive with it, oh, we're so sorry. That's the whole point. Is they're getting off on it.
Well, he gets more ridiculous as time goes on, but it starts out normal, and then it just gets more depraved.
Yeah, you fucking pretty goddamn much. Ava's on the money on that one.
But it just keeps getting worse. And it's bro, you need to.
I love when he's laying out on the couch in front of the fire with the rose in his mouth. He goes, "So sorry."
Just butt naked. Sorry.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, Yvette, you're probably gonna get clipped for that.
Let's continue because we still got an hour and 10 minutes to go.
Yep.
Proof that I'm evil, and using this as proof that I don't care, and using this as proof that I fake things, the horns, yeah. So but when you think about it, we did 800 off camera. So if I was aware that of the paperwork sale, the mishap, and that we didn't pay those 30, why would I not just take 30 of the 800 we did off camera and swap it out for those, and just put the 30?
This is again, he's trying to say, "Oh, but I could do this."
No,
that's not how that works.
I don't understand this argument.
That's not how that works at all.
So everything about it just makes no sense. And then even the person after we reached out, he deleted
This is the argument for those that are
ignorant. But everyone
ignorant.
immediately ignores that because it doesn't help their narrative. So
Sounds fun.
I mean, yeah, I don't really know what else to say.
That's how this
these are
argument
huge
works.
Projects. I'd love to see any of the people making videos on this try to just help 10 people see again. Now picture 1,000. 1,000. That is. Well, actually, we did 1,800. So 1,800. It was just
I should be criticized because I don't see them helping people.
Individually call all 1,800 afterwards and things like that. Some of these were in poor places.
Okay, is he the Messiah now?
Yeah.
This is actually a
he
really
needs to
prominent
share with
issue with
his young ones.
charities.
We found out about the whoopsie. I mean, that's the honest truth.
Yeah, I mean, you can't expect to not make mistakes with an operation that's big.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen.
When I do, we fix them.
Yeah, and then say there's transparency there. Yeah, I mean,
It's
that's
we're not
definitely
asking
a non-issue.
for
I mean, you would think
perfection.
that, but plenty of thumbnails.
But we're asking
Yeah,
It took
that.
Glaze,
CDC's
glaze,
3
glaze,
years
glaze.
to remove the equivalent of
Pretty
10
much what
hours
Ava
worth of
says.
trash being dumped into the ocean every day. And a lot of people have criticized the campaign as being ineffective and that you should have been doing something else instead of Team C's.
Yeah.
yeah, like how do you even how do you respond to that?
Yeah.
Bro, this
So,
is not a.
first off, because I get this.
I don't give a shit about Team C's. This is such a non-issue. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is such a nothing burger of an issue.
It's literally just a non-answer. That, like I said, this is just padding. This is all this is fucking padding.
Ton
Good
with Team C's.
padding
Like, this
for
isn't even like a new
those
thing.
that
Ever
are
since we did
dumb.
it, people constantly bring this up. So I just also, to the people who allege that criticism, because obviously you're just trying to be the mouthpiece for the internet. I assume you don't believe this, and you can probably already guess what I'm going to say. But to the people who I see this every single day on Twitter and Reddit, first off, let's just contextualize what we're talking about. We're saying only 34 million pounds of trash was removed out of the ocean. We're talking like multiple Empire State Buildings worth of just trash, if you piled it up, is out of the ocean, and we're acting like that's not a crazy thing if you just look at it in absolute terms. Like 34 million, not 34,000 million pounds. You know how crazy that is? And there's a couple things I want to say on this, because I
5
find
to
it funny. It's
7
like
times as
when
much as going
I
out
don't even know where I get
into
this
the
knowledge
ocean
from. When a
every
firefighter,
day.
stops
It's
a building
really
from burning down, you don't go,
insignificant.
well, 100,000 buildings burned down today. You only stop one. What are you doing?
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. So A, that's I don't even know where that's a good analogy. That just popped in my head.
that's good.
B, what was I actually gonna say? Oh, the whole point though of Team C's, which we've said this multiple times publicly, same thing with Mark Rober, was to inspire millions of people around the world to be
You know
more
what I would
conscious of
say
these
is a
things and
much
to,
more
like, just
accurate
care and be more
analogy
aware, right? Like,
is if he was looking at a California wildfire and he took a little toy bucket and he dumped out and he put out a bush. Look at all the good that I did putting out this bush as the rest of the world burns around him.
I mean, my thing is, I'm not gonna like trash him for doing good, like no matter how small or large it is. My issue is just the fact that he's like, "Well, I did good, so you can't really ask questions about it."
I
Like,
did good, so praise me.
No, we can still ask questions.
I only question people doing good things when they use the good that they do as a shield.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, congrats, you pulled out the amount of trash in the sea, 10th the rate of a container ship.
over 1,000 creators made videos on Team C's talking about the environment. I made a video that I believe has 100 million views. Mark Rober, all these other big creators, and all these people that look up to these creators saw a video of these creators talking positively about the environment. And like, my thing I would say to them is like, when people are like, "Oh, it only removed like half a day's worth of trash that's put in the ocean." How do you quantify the impact of those millions of people who got inspired to be more cognizant of these things and extrapolate that over the next decade? You know what I mean? Like, no one seems to factor that in because it doesn't fit the agenda. I stand by Team C's. I think it was a phenomenal project. I think it did a lot of good.
You know what was sad? Mark Rober, he's a Mormon and he just recently got a divorce.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait,
You wanna know
sorry,
how we
Mark
found out?
Rober. Yeah, sure. Tell me how.
Because he added the dating site that he was using saying, hey, you're banning me because people are saying that I'm being impersonated. No, this is me. And people wondered what he was doing on a dating site, and he's like, yeah, by the way, I'm a divorced man now.
Ooh. Also, sorry to be weird. Who the fuck's Mark Rober? I know Mike Rowe.
He did the glitter packages, the glitter bombs.
Huh?
Let
Did you
me try
never?
something.
They were really famous videos where he sent glitter bombs out.
Nope.
He would make glitter bombs for Amazon packages for package thieves to open up.
Which is more destructive.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
gosh.
seen some of these videos. I
Porch
never
pirates.
knew the fucker. Yeah, I never knew the fucker's name.
He's
So,
a former
thank you.
Mormon, and he's a NASA guy as well.
He's a
Actually,
NASA?
he was a NASA engineer.
Okay.
The fact that he's divorced is insane to me because he, like, I don't know. Again, Mormon. I guess that
Yeah.
shouldn't be a surprise. I don't know.
That is a rarity among the Mormons.
Actually,
He's probably selling his bookshelf on Gumtree. Kudos to anyone in chat who knows what that's from.
oh my gosh.
Good job, Ava.
All right.
I would challenge anyone else to try to remove 34. I mean, it wasn't me, it was the whole YouTube community. But like, if you have a better solution, go do it. But to me, 34 million pounds of trash out of the ocean, plus, inspiring millions of people to be more cognizant of it, I think it's a win. So I'm actually glad I got to say this here because that is just something that I just feel like is absurd, to be honest.
Chat, Mormons get divorced all the time in addition to the amount of regular people that do. It's just not something you think about. It's like Catholics getting it. Well, actually, never mind. Catholics get divorced all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's also not something they talk about.
No, because it's like a great stain on your family if you get a divorce. So it's like something like I knew a lot of Mormon families where the mother and the father were like, once the children are gone, we're fucking leaving each other, and that was depressing. Oof. As a missionary, that was really depressing to hear. Where the dad is like,
the divorce rate in the town that I lived in and I was studying law in was roughly 60%, and it was a Mormon town.
Jesus Christ!
That sounds about right, actually.
That's depressing.
Typically in areas where marriage is like very heavily kind of forced on people, there tends to be a lot of divorces.
Yeah.
Bitch, there's fucking giant amounts of divorce even in places where marriage isn't forced on people.
You know what's really sad? I knew a couple. They broke up. Well, not broke up. It was like once the kids are gone, we're fucking done. The dude confided in us that he was losing love for her because she wouldn't give him a BJ.
What?
Lol.
She believed that it was against Mormon culture, so she wouldn't give him a BJ.
What?
Well, you know, if
I'm not joking.
If she don't talk to her, you don't talk to her.
Can I please put? Yeah, I'm putting the elf in the jar. The elf was going in the jar.
I'm sorry.
Chat, elf going in jar.
I'm gonna veto that. She's my elf,
the
and
elf
she
is
won't
gonna
go in the
like the
jar.
jar.
I broke all the jars.
All I have is a clay pot.
I'm putting her in the clay pot. She goes in the clay pot.
Also, I'm pretty sure the elf would like the jar.
Yeah.
All right.
At least I don't have to hear her yap.
I mean, as long as it's cozy, got a little blanket in there, maybe a pillow.
Oh my goodness.
Let's continue before I say anything.
Yeah. Another topic in the same vein is the 100 wells in Africa project.
Yeah.
In that video, part of the criticism for that video is that a few of the wells that you built were showed in different shots, or the same wells were showed in different shots.
Yeah.
That would imply to some extent that you.
Why do I care? I don't care about this.
Did you build 100 wells in Africa?
Yes. So you already know what I'm going to say. I mean, I would loop this in with the same thing as the hospital thing. Seems like I need to have someone who QCs things before we upload it more hardcore. I need someone who literally goes frame by frame. Like we finish a video and then they spend 3 days just going frame by frame, making sure there's no mess ups. Yeah, I think one or
He just sounds so upset that he has to talk about this. It's kind of it really makes me sad. It really does. I hope Mike Rowe is a semi-normal person because he's my last hero before Jesus.
Sorry, who?
Mike Rowe.
Yeah, if anything happens with Mike Rowe, I'm gonna be drinking until my liver is pickled.
Mike Rowe is
I would be the same.
It's like a bastion of a hardworking American.
So that means you would have had to stop drinking a year ago.
What? What do you mean, Ava?
Non-FBI, thank you for the 2 Australian.
I didn't at all imply that you're an alcoholic, but you might be an alcoholic. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying, oh, well, actually, Mike Rowe was snorting crack cocaine live on a stream and sucking dudes off. I thought you were going to say I was going to be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to keep drinking.
No, that's Nicholas Ricada.
Yeah.
Akko, I'm not skipping anything, Chad. I need the context. Also, Akko, OMG, I don't care about this. Yeah, I know. What I'm saying, Chad, here's the thing. I do want to see the whole context. By the same token, I listen to this and I'm like, why does this matter to the conversation? I'm listening to I want to listen to all this, but I also have to ask, why is it something that they chose to include? Why is this so important to the...
She is objecting to the relevance of what they're discussing.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, I'm objecting to the relevance and I just want to move the fuck on, but obviously I know you just want to watch it to make sure you don't miss anything, and I understand. But
I'm
at the same
glad.
time, I want to swing from a tree.
Well, here's the problem. It is a moral obligation and journalistic integrity, of which most journalists don't have, to go through the totality of it. So we can say we went through it all. So we have the authority to review it with a fair mind because we actually absorbed the entire video.
You could
so
say...
in normie speak, we suffered, so fuck you. We have every right to criticize afterwards.
You could say that we viewed it with a legal mindset.
kill God.
Yeah, well, after we get done with this video,
Ara, Big Daddy Legal.
yeah, I was gonna say after we get done with this video, yeah, we'll have the authorities say, yeah, Oompa sure uploaded this to Pornhub.
Right.
All right, continue.
One or two of the wells we actually showed this like the same well as different numbers. But once again, like I said with the blind thing, like why would I spend 98% of the money and then just fake 2 wells, like and destroy the entire integrity to save like 2%? I'm glad we're hitting these though, so I can. Anyone who made those videos like saying the philanthropy is fake, like that's the one that bothers me the most because we go so above and beyond. Like honestly, if you could just delete them, like that'd be great. So like it's so bad, man. Like because it makes charities not want to work with us, and it makes like it just really like has made doing the projects we want to do like a lot more difficult, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're hitting these.
Aside from it being just difficult, does it make like how I've asked you how it makes you feel? You said it doesn't feel good with regard to that. Like this charity thing, it's got to feel good to do this.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded with people who I'm assuming are enjoying the work that they're doing. I know a guy, fella Darren, is involved in the philanthropy, or at least was. I'm not sure if he's still around, but you know, there's some good people obviously involved in this. Like, how does it make you feel after all these allegations that are coming out that you can't really do this anymore?
Well, we can still do it. It's just infinitely harder. I mean, we're never gonna stop. But yeah, it's
there's a time limit on it. It's finite.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping like that's why I'm here. Like one of the reasons why I'm here. I'm hoping this like puts this stuff out there. These things kind of die down. And we can go back to the status quo where I can actually do brand deals and help people and charities want to work with us and things like that. But I mean, shocker. Sucks, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel good, and
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Really, it's not even about me. I mean, it's a lot of these things. What bothers me is that they're employees, even for the charity. Like, not, regardless of the people we help and the projects we do, I also just have a lot of people who work for my charity. You know what I mean? Like, and those people, like, I just a lot of these things. Like, the first thing that jumps in my mind is like, it's just not fair to them. You know what I mean? Like, think of like the Wells Project. We worked on that for a year. You know what I mean? Like, think of my employees who worked on that and poured everything they had into that project over the course of a year, and then like some small editing slip up, and now everything they did that they put their stamp of approval, they put their name on, they showed their families that they made, is now being discredited. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of like, it's very depressing for them too. And I'm like, you know, what do I say? I'm like, you know, it's brutal, to be honest, for them, you know, more even more than me, because they're like, obviously I have a lot going on, multiple business, and I'm always filming videos, like, but you know, we have certain teams dedicated to certain videos, and like when those videos get like deliberate disinformation, it's like I can tell like it really impacts the people that worked on them, because it sucks. Like, that was your life, and then people are
Poor
just like,
little Mr. Beast. Let me play him a song on the world's tiniest violin.
Oh, please no. Unironically, Bull, that was very annoying. Please don't do that again.
Sorry.
When is Bull not annoying?
Sometimes he has a lot of good things to say.
It's okay. I'll go microwave myself after this.
Don't do that. But you should be on X. Why is it with everybody and like putting this on Pornhub? Is it because of all the glazing?
Yes, people are saying yes because he might as well, in all but action, be just giving him that
there is more
sloppy
glaze in
toppy.
here than the amount of oil that they put on the body of a male adult actor.
There's more glazing and oil here than the entire house of P. Diddy.
No, Oompa's going for the world record of deep throating.
Damn.
Got it past the uvula, getting it into the trachea, into the esophagus, all the way to the stomach line.
Do we really need to go that whole way?
Yes.
Okay.
Point to me what's wrong.
It's fake. Yeah, it's brutal.
How much charity do you do off camera, if you don't mind me asking? Also, you know, some people say that filming these types of things sort of calls the authenticity or the intentions into question. If you're filming charity, like, is it real? If a bear shits in the woods, you know, it's one of those old adages. What do you do off camera? What do you feel about that? Because that's a big criticism that a lot of people have had on YouTubers for a very long time.
It's a big criticism I get, which is funny because if I do something off camera, how do you know about it? So all the
Not iffy. I thought you were the 5 Australian. Animal abuse hand on Bull, Colin PETA. Now they'll help you like they helped with Canada healthcare system in making made. No! No!
Thanks not enough, FBI. Much appreciated. I need all the help I can get.
What?
message retracted. That was the best part, honestly.
Wait, did it get rid of it?
I don't know if he did or if someone else did. If Mods, if you did that, don't
No,
do that. Come on.
no, I'm saying it. No, he deleted it himself.
Okay. Okay.
You
Clap-
still spent your
clap for him.
$5. What the hell?
But sad to say that, well, I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, fucking hell. That was great.
All right.
People who tweet.
And here's
all the
another
time
thing
or
I would
whatever
say
go,
too.
"You would
There's even an old proverb about this in the Bible where it mentions like God not looking favorably on the rich person who comes in and donates like 10,000 coins to the church. Like if you make a show of it, it detracts from the intent of the charity in the first place.
Yeah.
It devalues the action.
This is also something they're just gonna have to accept. Like, it's a moral line that some people have. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you're like, well, I think it's fine. Some people just think it's morally wrong to do it. You can't. There's no like logical argument with we have different moral alignments because it's not a argument based on like logic.
Well, it's
that's
also
true.
just
You can't logic your way around a moral argument.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just distasteful because, charity, you're supposed to give money in to help someone else. That's the basic premise of it. Donate and help this person out, help this cause out. But whenever you make a video on it and put it out, there's like, look at me, look at all the good I'm doing. It's like, you just devalue all that.
Mm-hmm.
This is just an agree to disagree thing, and
Yeah.
they're gonna have to let it go and be like, yeah, some people think that.
Mm-hmm.
He won't ever let it go.
Fair enough.
wouldn't do anything unless it's on camera. He only does it because it's on camera. How do you know? Yeah, literally, how do you know? I mean, and does it defeat the purpose if I tell you right now? I mean, I will, just because now everyone assumes the worst. So, but it's just that one's always been a crazy one to me every time I've seen those go viral. But I mean, now it sounds like weird to just list them off because it's like feels like I'm bragging. But I mean, the first one that pops in my head is like the Mark person that would give $1 million that actually got slandered in a lot of this controversy. I knew that a lot of people who come into that kind of money typically go bankrupt, so I gave him a couple $1,000s a month every month for like 4 or 5 years after that video. Never mentioned it publicly, just to help us transition to his new lifestyle.
Right.
That was an easy one. I mean, we did 800 surgeries off camera for blind. Never mentioned that. I'm bringing it up now because the controversy is making me. It's funny because like even things like Feastables, we do a lot to ethically source it, and
You're proving
No, you fucking don't. Not anymore. You got taken off the ethically sourced committee.
And fermenting it, the QC, working alongside the farmers, the entire supply chain to make sure it's ethically sourced. I never posted that anywhere. I don't think I did. I don't remember posting anything. I didn't make a video. I just went there to inspect our supply chain, do that ethically. I mean, I could go on and on, but it just feels like a little weird to like brag about these things. But yeah, I mean, it's just not true. I do tons of stuff. I mean, even me and my mom, that's part of how we bond is we do things and projects and things she's passionate about and stuff like that off camera.
You know, it's funny if I could feel like Jimmy at one point just snapping and like he gets so upset about all the people grifting against him. His eyes roll into the back of his head. He starts foaming at the mouth like, oh shit, Jimmy, calm down, Jimmy.
Jimmy, no!
I mean, that's something I'm never going to get away from until the day I die. People are always going to say, "Oh, he's only doing it because it's on camera." And I mean, there's technically no good real response. It's like if people want to say that, they can say that. You know.
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, that's yeah. If it doesn't, if people don't know it exists, obviously they're not gonna know that it fucking exists. Yeah. And if you're doing it, you're damned if you do. Once again, if you're damned
because even me saying it here, did that just defeat the purpose of everything I did? Oh, he only did those things so he could
eventually use it as a way to make
of
himself.
Course. I'm sure that like the r/YouTube drama post is gonna say that, and then someone's
not an FBI. You are fine. But thank you for the 2.
Gonna debunk it, but that reply will be deleted, and then everyone's gonna believe the post, and yeah.
Sorry.
Some people allege, the internet alleges.
Non-FBI, listen, you can dunk on me or say the most fucking out-of-pocket shit. Ain't no one gonna abscond you for it. We love fuck humor here.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're always gonna say that. So it is a little ironic in my case, especially years ago, but these last 2 years, do you remember when I uploaded like the Wells video, the blind video? Do you remember like how people like lost their minds and got really mad? Do you remember that? Like, I think I was trending on Twitter for like 3 days straight after the blind video. It was not positive. It was like super negative. It was like, it's
Yeah, people
actually
were calling him
interesting,
the
'cause I talked about this
Antichrist
earlier.
and
Like,
stuff.
I
It was
actually think I
pretty
would
bad.
get less hate if I didn't do philanthropy. So I actually think it's having the inverse effect. At least in the last 2 years, like people hate me more because I do good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's like too crazy of a. I'm not trying to sound like a victim here or anything. So maybe that's too crazy of a statement. But it's just something I'm noticing. Like I'll do a video, whatever, buried by stuff alive. No one, like people. No one criticizes it. It's like, oh, this is a good video to watch it.
Yeah,
and then I'll do a video
if
where I
you
build
have
100
to
houses.
say you're trying
Everyone
not
loses
to
their
sound
mind.
like
I
a
give it to homeless
victim,
people. And
you're
Twitter
sounding
erupts. And
like a
so
victim.
using philanthropy as a shield, I just don't even agree. Like I actually think it paints a negative spotlight on me, to be frank.
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely been a target of a lot of negative things
If I took $5 million and built wells, it would trend on Twitter. If I took $5 million and made the world's largest firework, I would not trend on Twitter and get hate. I mean, that's the honest truth. So that's my answer.
Yeah,
like,
would.
I do the videos because they're just fun, and like I've always said in podcasts, like I could make up some sob story of whatever. Like the truth is, I just find videos where I help people more fun than videos where I don't.
I'm glad I could feed your obsession.
It's just makes life more
I was
fun.
gonna say,
but yeah, I mean, if I was actually didn't want to get hate,
Whistling Diesel.
Why did he just say he can make up a sub story?
I don't know. I know Whistling Diesel gets a lot of fucking hate and a lot of fucking slack all the time for all the fucking shit that he builds, throws money at, wastes. He gets it all the fucking time. He blows it off, and that's what he does. But you're gonna have that. You're not gonna make everyone happy.
No, for sure. Holy fuck, it's 2:30, and I have another hour left.
I mean, you can always do it another time.
And my stream is dying, so I might have to do that.
We can do a part 2 tomorrow because, like, quite literally, like,
Chat, would you mind?
I don't know. It's been a whole lot of nothing, and it's probably tomorrow when we're fresh-eyed and bushy-tailed, so to speak, when we get the actual statement that we care about.
Yeah, I'm also kind of like nodding a little bit.
What statement would that be?
Look,
Something
I'm
that's not this.
struggling to hold up my head like a newborn baby struggles to hold up their head. Like, that's just how bad this interview is.
Yeah, but what statement are you waiting for, Eva?
Make rage actually work.
I am waiting for anything on the more substantial things in terms of, like, the fact that he hired the Mr. Delaware guy, like, more than what he just that passing comment on that, some of the illegal law, like the legal stuff. I want to know about the criminal allegations that have been leveled against him by more people than just Dogpack.
Yeah, I was about yeah, like I thought we were going to get more into that. I thought we were going to actually get a fucking answer to anything of actual substance.
Oh no! That he'll answer that one.
Right now, this is all on Oompavel for not asking the questions, by the way.
Oh no, he's already answered that one. Yeah, I was dumb. I had a lot of stupid people I shouldn't have had. Next, that's what that was.
Yeah, total non-answer.
But yeah, chat. It is like a 2:30.
And it being a non-answer, it's up to the interviewer to hold them to an answer. So I just hope the remaining hour tomorrow is a little better than this first hour has been.
Fuck no. No, it's not, Ava. I'm just pouring water on you right now. No, it won't.
Probably not, sadly. But chat. Let's reconvene tomorrow. I also want to watch that Harmful Opinions video, so we'll probably get to that tomorrow as well.
Night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for the donos. Make sure to like, subscribe, and buy the tea with Akko's link.
Is there somebody that I can raid? Not really. All right. If you're on
Throw them at
YouTube,
Mersh.
is Mersh even live on YouTube?
Fuck no.
I wouldn't do that with no.
That would be punishment. Hey, yeah, your reward for enduring this shit is you get more shit. Fuck you.
I don't see anybody. I'm not raiding Pupsker. Fuck that.
Did you say Husker?
Pupsker.
Oh. I thought I heard Husker. I was like, wait a minute. Hesman Hotel?
Okay. Chat. I love y'all.